What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette, and today, guys, we are going to talk about a couple of things from the entertainment world. We have let's see, we got Mo'Nique, the Club Shay Shay interview. We definitely got to talk about that. That'll be our main topic at the end. Then we've got we got a Jonathan Majors update. That's gonna be something to talk about. And then we got a Mandalorian suit. I mean, Lucasfilm / Disney is getting sued. Whew, listen, we got a bunch of stuff to kind of go over and to talk about for sure. And we will get to all of that. Don't you worry. Just in case you are new to the channel, I just want to let you know you too can participate in this whole thing, and it is super easy. All you got to do is just subscribe. If you subscribe, you too can join one of the livest chats in all of YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And you can go ahead and go let your thoughts be known, and talk amongst yourselves and shoot things out to me. And even if I don't get to it here, I do check back on the replay, just to interact with you guys as well. And by the way, shout out to the replay gang. Always appreciate y'all coming through. But let's see. I think there was something I needed to tell you guys. Don't know where it is. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Oh, yes, I got to give a shout out. Yes, hold on. So, for those of y'all that have been following in the last couple weeks, remember, it's full transparency around here. I was telling you guys that I was trying something new with YouTube where they said that I can run ads, in the middle of the live. And, it was more of an experiment type of thing, instead of having ads pop up in the middle of the live and disturbing stuff or whatever, it was kind of like giving me control where I could put them in here and there. But I wanted to see, was this even worth it? Is it something that we should even be doing? Whatever. I want y'all to just kind of give a quick little thank you to brother Terrence. He actually hit me up with a $20 Cash App before the show, and he said specifically for the big game, Super Bowl, but also so we're not monetized. So I'm going to interpret that as paying for the lives, right? And the reason why I say that is when I looked at how much money the live, like the ads during the lives actually, generated, it was like $15, and I was just like, man, whatever. Like, what? Come on now. Unfortunately, nowadays, that's a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, you know what? The E fam be supporting the channel on their own. We don't need all them breaks anyway. So whatever. YouTube, keep your $15. Okay. I'm not that thirsty, for the dollars. And if it generates a better experience where we could just go ad free, I'd rather just do that. I'm fine with that. I've never been money hungry with all this stuff anyway. So shout out to the E fam, specifically Terrence, for keeping this ad free. Okay, up in this piece. So thank you, brother, for that. Let's see. I want to give some quick shout outs to the people that are here today, and then we can get into tonight's business. Who do we have? I see we got Last of my kin. What is up? Thank you so much for being here. Ism Schism. What is up? Thank you. Deborah, how are you? Good to see you. Come on, wouldn't be alive without Miss Harper. Thank you so much for being here. She gonna be here as long as she can. That works all good. Thank you so much. Claus, thank you so much. Good evening to you. My man Johnny Washington's in the building. What is up? T-Ville, how you doing? Thank you so much for being here. T'Challa, what is up? Who else we got? Karen, how you doing? Thank you so much. My man Nelson V is here. What is up? Jay Brown, what is up? Oh, snaps, it's your birthday. Hey, it's lit. Okay. Hey, happy birthday, Jay. I hope you have a fantastic birthday. And I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us, during this special day. Come on through. We got Kristen Pratt, Mod Squad. Hopefully everything is all good. I know you had a very, very rough week, past couple of days at least. Like I said to you, I DM'd you as well. We got your back. Okay. I know everybody in here be going through things. We be, having some hard issues to go through in life. And again, definitely we got you with your thoughts, prayers, positive vibes, all of that, and more. So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your presence. Theo, thank you so much for being here. Knight, what is up? 60 plus, I see you as well. Corey, good to see you. Zia, always a pleasure. Treese, how you doing? Rachel, thank you so much for being here. We got the homie Rhonda, what is up? Didier, what's up? Good to see you. Tasha, good to see you as well. We got more Mod Squad in the building with a lead. Thank you so much for being here. Tyra, always a pleasure. Minister Crush, my man, what is up? Toys Food, how you doing? Good to see you. Steven, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you. There we go. Easy, what is up? Thank you so much for being here as well. Tracy, thank you so much. Shar, good to see you. Raymond, what is up? My man Dorian is back. CJ, thank you so much. There we go. There go my man Terrence. Thanks again, brother, for holding it down for the folks with the ads. Kristen, good to see you. Let's see. My man Lou is back in action. Good to see you. Pierre, what is up? Come on through. Jason, it's been good to see you. Oh, wait. Okay. Man, of course. Yes, absolutely. You get them thoughts and prayers for a successful surgery for your dad. Definitely hoping that everything, goes through and everything is successful. So, please, 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 everybody throw that positive energy, thoughts and prayers their way. We're definitely hoping for the best. Andrew, thank you so much for being here. Cal Payne, thank you so much. Curie, what is up? Rebecca, thank you so much for being here. Antoine, what is up? Good to see you. Who else I see? Callow, what is up? Thank you so much. Soto, I see you as well. Shogun, what is up? Jesus, thank you so much. Kiki West, always a pleasure. Thank you for coming back. Ramsey, what is up? Come on through. We got SJ Evans in the house. Appreciate you. Let's see. Lawrence Report. No, I have not. I usually don't read comics when they first come out like that. I usually wait until the series is finished, and then I'll go back and watch them or read them at that point. But thank you so much for being here, fighting the evil. What is up? And shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight. Guys, I really, really appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this might also be my very last live because I'm pretty sure I might get canceled with some of my opinions that I'm going to share with that whole Mo'Nique situation. So I appreciate y'all coming through. I don't know. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see who we got. Anthony, what you got? No live tonight for me. Oh, man. I will catch it on the replay tomorrow during the workout. Cat Williams posted a meme where I can send it to you. Man, okay. I don't know what meme it is, but hopefully it was a funny one. But thank you so much. See you on the replay. Sharon, thank you so much. Oh, come on, man. Sharon, always keeping the lights on. Thank you so much, Sharon, as well, for that super sticker. Really, really appreciate you. Let's see. Deborah, thank you so much. Hi, E-Man. Finished Daredevil and Punisher. Ooh, both? Okay. Woo! Those shows were better than Disney Plus. Not Deborah. Didn't we try to tell you? We tried to tell you. Okay, we told you the second you was getting into that. Listen, I told you Daredevil was one of them shows. Okay, it was always one of them. Let's see. On to the Jessica Jones next. Saw the Marvels. My rating was a 6 out of 10. Waiting for Deadpool 3. Okay. Hey, listen, we on the same page. We are on the same page. I think I forget what I gave Marvels. I think I gave it a 6 as well. Jessica Jones. Listen, for me, that first season, that was it. That was it. Purple Man, that was one of the best things. I can't say the same for season 2. I don't think season 2 was all that good. But that first season in Purple Man, woo, that was it. That was it. So hopefully you have a good time with that. And yeah, please keep us updated. I like hearing these. I like hearing, people catching up on these really cool shows that they might have missed out on. Because I get to kind of relive it through y'all. So thank you so much for keeping me updated. I really appreciate you. Buzz, I do see yours. I'm gonna save your comment until a little bit later when we get to the Mo'Nique topic. So don't you worry, guys. Whenever you submit a super chat or anything for a later topic, I'm going to try and keep those together so that way, we can, not jump around too early or whatever. So Buzz, don't you worry, I'm gonna get to you, sir. Let's see. JN, I'm gonna do the same with you. All right, I'm gonna hold yours until we get to that topic as well, and then we'll go ahead and share them all then. All right, so let's get to the first topic of tonight. I know we don't really talk about sports, but looks like we got a new sports deal happening. Right now the options are, I don't know, you got to go to ESPN, which means you got to sign up for this, or you got to sign up on some YouTube TV, or I don't know, you sign up for a cable or whatever. You got to do all these different things just to watch your favorite sports. But it seems as though we got options now, because now it seems as though we got a big major sports merger deal that is about to maybe change how we watch sports television. And that is because Warner Brothers, Fox, Disney are all going to come together to launch a streaming sports joint venture. It says Fox, Warner Brothers, and Disney are set to launch a new streaming joint venture that will make all of their sports programming available under a single broadband roof. A move that will put content from ESPN, TNT, and Fox Sports on a standalone app in the process. Wow. Okay, this is potentially going to launch this fall. Now, it says that you're going to get access to all these things, like all the ESPN networks and all the college game day stuff, ABC, Fox, and TNT. All of that's going to be just bundled up together. So if you're an NFL fan, NBA fan, MLB fan, hockey fan, you're going to get all of that together. Now, this also says here, it's likely that they're going to set a monthly subscription that is more than a consumer would pay for a standalone regional sports network, which is usually $20 to $30 per month and less than a larger digital programming package like Hulu or YouTube TV, which is like $75 to $80. Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all had me with the idea, but that price range is getting your boy a little cringy. Okay, that price range was a little. Listen, if y'all had told me that we could get all these things together for like $5.99, maybe $9.99 at most, I would have messed with that. I would have been with that. I was like, yo, bye-bye cable, bye-bye subscriptions, bye-bye what I would have messed with that. What they say? The lowest was $20 to $30. So what y'all go, and what they said, the highest was 75 to 80? Listen. That sounds like, to me, y'all about to try and swindle us with a $49.99 plan. I'm not paying no $50 to watch all these sports. Are you kidding me? I will wait. Okay, I will wait. I'll watch them highlights for the free. Okay, I got my app. Bulls, y'all scored a basket. Good job. I don't need to see that. I'm good. Touchdown. We winning, y'all. That's all. I'm not paying y'all all $50 for that stuff. Are you crazy? Listen, I thought this was a good idea. I really did, until I saw that potential price range. Nah, it ain't happening. But that's just me. It's just not that valuable to me. But I would be lying if I said that it was still not a good deal if you're that sports fan that happens to buy into the other more expensive things like YouTube TV and, Hulu and stuff like that. Maybe it is a better deal if you have those higher cost things. But for someone like me that's not even subscribed to those things, I'm like, no, no thanks. Not for me. But y'all let me know, please. What do you think about this? Maybe you're not even a sports fan. I don't know. But if you are thinking that this is interesting, or if you're thinking that this is something worthwhile, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Oh man, hold on, bro, man. I was looking for, you know what? I had this listed. My man, Larry, you did not have to, man. I already owed you, Larry. I already owed you from last time. My man is coming through, blessing the channel. Larry, first of all, thank you so much for keeping the lights on. I appreciate you. Super, super generous. Let's see. He says here, yo, E-Man, I'm going to do a show. So I'm replay gang tonight, but I'm excited to hear your thoughts on Dutchman. Larry, what kind of show you about to do? What you do? Hold on, I'm a little nosy. Larry, what you be doing? Like, what kind of show you doing, man? Just let me know, you know. But especially your personal and professional thoughts on the film. And if you think a remake could fly these days, I'll write you in the comments. Well, Larry, hold on. You done bought the channel. My man Larry done bought some airtime real quick. So we gonna have to do this. Hold on, Larry. I'm gonna have to put a little something in here. Because here's the thing, you know, for anybody I was missing, Larry made a very generous donation last week, and he asked my thoughts about Dutchman. You know, the free, it's a 1966 movie, I want to say, black and white. And I told you, and I kept my word, that I would watch it and I give you my thoughts. So here we go. You done bought your airtime, so here you go. I first started watching it, and I don't know if y'all care about spoilers at this point, but I'll talk around loosely about it. When I first started watching the short film, it's only an hour long. The Dutchman basically starts off with a black man riding a subway train, and then there's like this eager, energetic white woman outside of the train, right? The two, they lock eyes, you know, they kind of feeling each other, and she gets on the train and she starts sitting down to him, and she starts, you know, putting the moves on my man, right? Okay, cool. So the guy's name is Clay, her name is Luna, if I'm not mistaken. So what this did was, you know, the dialogue was pretty heavy. And I would say that, you know, I did a little research and I found out that it was based off of a stage play. So it makes sense why the dialogue was so heavy. So, you know, initially, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of losing me. I was like, what are we doing? Why is this crazy white lady all up on this guy in 1966? So they fresh off of the civil rights movement. Okay, that's fresh coming off of all that segregation. So why is this woman out here jumping on this man like this? Okay, so you know, it was definitely an interesting dynamic to see these two, you know, kind of flirting with each other and talking with each other and kind of falling for each other. But then, as you watch, she starts slipping in some passive aggressive, low key shots, some racist shots, you know, like kind of slipping in the kind of hard ER a couple times, you know, and it was kind of like, hey man, I thought we was vibing, and you just gonna drop the hard ER in here? Like, what is going on? You know. So anyway, things start to pick up. She keeps antagonizing him, and he gets to a breaking point where he's like, yo, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. So he flips the script on her, and he starts to antagonize her. Now, again, I'm trying not to spoil too much in case y'all want to see it. It's actually not bad if you got the time. But while these two are dialoguing between each other, they're kind of sort of expressing, I would say, the inner thoughts of their respective racial group. So the guy is basically saying he's that the angry black man, if the angry black man could really say whatever he wanted. And she was the Karen that could say whatever she wanted just willy-nilly, right? So, you know, now the real crux of this is I would say the last 10 minutes of this movie. And in the last 10 minutes, something very drastic happens. And um I would say that that last 10 minutes definitely woke me up. I was like, oh, that's what we doing? So here's to your question, Larry. Could they remake this today? I think they can, and I think they kind of already did. Um, the latter one, in terms of what they already did, it was Get Out. Because as I was watching this movie, I was like, this is Get Out. I would be surprised if Jordan Peele had never seen this movie and in the back of his head was like, yeah, I need to make this into a modern day story. So for me, that whole movie was the 1966 version of Get Out. And could they redo it? Absolutely. I think that they could definitely do it again. I would love to see someone do it, even if it were just a short film, because I think it was incredibly telling. How it could still fit in today's society metaphorically. Okay. Because I don't think that obviously this white lady was, every single white lady represented. But if we're talking about metaphors in terms of if she was the embodiment of white female supremacy, right? Or let me back that up. If she was the embodiment of a white female who embraced white supremacy ideology, that would be it. And if he were to be the metaphorical embodiment of black rage in in response to white supremacy, that would be interesting. So absolutely, I think they could do a remake on it. I think it would. I don't think you could do as much dialogue because, unfortunately, in today's world, our attention spans are a lot shorter. But I think you can remake this, twist it up, maybe use the initial movie subway scene as a setup, and then go into something else. But like I said, this feels like Get Out. It feels like it's Get Out, except on a train. But anyway, man, Larry, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the generous donations, and thank you for introducing me to that. It was a very interesting, film for me to digest in and to explore. So I appreciate that. Thank you for that wonderful donation as well. All right, thank you, man. Let's see. Jay, what you talking about here? With the dumpster fire imminent, should Sony have given Madam Web the Batgirl treatment? I don't know. And I say that because I haven't seen the movie yet. Now, if I've seen the movie, when I see the movie, if it's terrible, then yeah, maybe it should. But I don't know. I will say this though, because I really didn't want to make it a topic because I think people would know this anyway. I don't have high expectations for Madam Web. I'm not looking forward to it, but at the same time, I know I need to watch it to help y'all, and I need to go into it with still an open mind that maybe it actually could be good. I think I heard from one of my friends who said that they actually saw it and they liked it. So I'm like, okay. Mm, we'll see, so a very big red flag, because I'll be schooling y'all on the flags now. A huge red flag. Two red flags, not even one red flag. What have I told y'all when it comes to embargoes in terms of when they allow us to tell you what our review and our rating is? The closer it is to the date, the more scared the studio is, because they know they got some trash on their hands. Madam Web's embargo is damn near on the day it comes out. They don't want you to listen to nobody that had early access to see it to tell you anything until the day the movie comes out, because they're hoping by that time it's too late. So don't be surprised if on that Tuesday you start hearing all these things about Madam Web. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be bad, but Sony pushed that release date, that embargo date right on the cusp. Second red flag. Why they put this screening, because this is what I've heard in other places as well, it's a daytime screening. You know good and well most of us have daytime jobs. Why don't you want us to see this movie? Why are you making it more difficult for us to see this movie? And then you want to also make it more difficult for people to hear how we feel about this movie in time so that they can make the best decisions on their own, whether they want to see it or not. Why forecome? So lots of red flags. You're putting the screening at a very inconvenient time of day. You're also making the review embargo extremely late. None of these are good signs. But this is why I got to do this for the people. I'll be professional about it. I'll go check it out, see what happens. I'll let y'all know. And we'll go from there. All right. Thank you so much, Jay. Let's see. Talented one. I'm late. Just a little offering while I sit in the car and wait for my daughter to get out of this dance class. Carry on, sir. Dad's life. Shout out to the dads out there. I already know it. Listen, that's gymnastics life for me. Okay. That's gymnastics. That's soccer. Used to be tennis, might be track. Listen, I understand. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Shout out to the baby girls out there as well. All right, so let's move on. We got another quick topic here. Danny Phantom. I don't know if y'all ever saw this. Maybe some of y'all too old. Maybe some of y'all saw it when you were younger. I was young enough to watch Danny Phantom on Nickelodeon. And I actually liked Danny Phantom. He was pretty cool. I also liked him with was it Fairly Odd Parents on Nickelodeon. Thought it was real cool, right? So there have been talks, there's been rumors that they could potentially do something with this beyond the series. Yes. So it says here, where is it here? Oh, let me highlight it for y'all. Bam, there it is. It says here that Paramount Pictures was in early development on a live action theatrical Danny Phantom film. Now, listen, it's been a minute since I've seen Danny Phantom, so I can't really speak to whether or not I would really be in line to go watch it, but I'd be curious. I'd like to see a trailer. I'd like to see, what y'all got going on. But the main question is, who you gonna get to play Danny Phantom? That's the real question, right? With any live action type of thing, who are you gonna get to play that role? Well, they actually asked this question to the creator of Danny Phantom. It was Butch Hartman, and they asked him, well, who's gonna play that live action, version of Danny? And he had this to say. Hartman revealed that he'd want Tom Holland all the way to play the title character. That's right, Spider-Man, Tom Holland to play Danny Phantom. Sir. For anyone unaware, Danny Phantom is a 14-year-old kid. That means, what is he? He probably just got into high school. He's fresh out of 8th grade. I don't know. I forget the age of kid. What is that? That's out of 8th grade. And he about to be in high school as a freshman. Yo, we just saw Tom Holland leave high school. That's a 4-year gap. Tom Holland is like 27, I want to say. He about to be a whole 30-year-old. And you want him to play a 14-year-old? I mean, I know the brother looks young. I get that, but come on. Y'all ain't got no... Listen, you mean to tell me in Hollywood you don't have any up-and-coming white 14-year-old kids? Nobody? I don't believe that. Now, if you told me this 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, okay. I could totally see, Tom, doing the Danny Phantom thing. Yes. Now, Tom ain't got time for that. Tom got other things to go do. Tom is out here web slinging, you know what I'm saying? Playing around with Zendaya and stuff. Tom ain't got no time to play these little Nickelodeon characters. What are you saying? Shoot, he got to go play in other movies that's going to flop if it's not Spider-Man. He don't have time for this. Leave Tom alone. Tom is good by himself doing his other projects. Okay, go find somebody else. Listen, Nickelodeon got a whole bunch of kids that you can go pick from. Disney Channel got a whole bunch of stuff that you can go pick from. You got your pick. Come on now, don't do that. Let's raise up some new stars. That's all I'm saying. Let's get some new faces. Ooh, my goodness, Tom Holland, really? I'll be tripping. Anyway, what do y'all think about the live action Danny Phantom? Would you be interested in the movie? Do you want to see Tom Holland play the live action version? Or maybe y'all have ideas of other young, up and coming actors that could play the role of Danny Phantom, or maybe you don't care at all. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. See, we don't have no ads, so y'all gonna have to just watch me drink water. Oh my God. Nothing like some ice cold water, boy. I tell you, that hit the spot. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got to talk about Avatar, the Avatar sequels, up and coming. Let's see. Of course, when it comes to Avatar, we already know James Cameron, aka one of the GOATs out there, directors. My man has been planning an Avatar franchise since forever. And I will be first to admit, I used to clown him too. I think we all used to clown him. We didn't believe him when he said, yo, I got Avatar 2 ready to go in about 15 years. And then I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got all the Avatars in the can ready to go. We said, sir, could you at least give us 2 first? We don't even know if 2 is going to be good. And now you already sitting there talking about part 25. What is this? But hey, this man, all he does is drop hot box office fire. That's all he does. It's just straight up like, yo, you want $1 billion? Forget that. I'm going to give you 2. And then I'm going to hit you with another 2 billion. And that's what Avatar 1 and 2 did. So, of course, anticipation for Avatar 3 is up there because at this point, he's not missing with these things, right? But he did have, he gave in the interview his thoughts on the future of Avatar and where it can go. And it says here, the Oscar winner is currently in post-production on Avatar 3 and still has around half of Avatar 4 left to shoot. So he's almost done with 3 and he's got halfway done with 4. He says, we're fully written through movie 5, and I've got ideas for 6 and 7, although I'll probably be handing the baton at some point. Mortality catches up, but I mean, we're enjoying what we're doing. We're loving it. We get to work with great people. And you know what? I do enjoy the fact that he's aware of this. I love the fact that this guy, as a visionary, is like, listen, I'm not going to be here forever. Because he like, what, 60-something years old? Something like that. Ain't no way. And these movies take at least 3-4 years in between just to make. So I love the idea that he's already looking at this way beyond himself. And he's already thinking like, yeah, I'm going to have to bring somebody. Now, he said this in other interviews too, that he's going to have to train another director on how these movies should go moving forward. I'm more interested in who are you going to train? Who are you going to bring on? I wonder if Denis Villeneuve, the Dune Blade director, I wonder if he Blade Runner, I wonder if he would come in and be willing to work on the Avatar movies moving forward. I just think that would be very interesting if we finally get to know who it is that will, take this on. because this clearly is a money-making franchise. I mean, they haven't missed yet. What else do we have? He says here that Cameron purposely shot Avatar 3 and chunks of Avatar 4 concurrently at the same time with The Way of Water to ensure the age continuity among his characters. He says we see them and then we go away for 6 years and we come back. Cameron said about the Avatar time jump. Avatar 3 was originally going to come out in 2024, but Disney delayed it, so we won't get that until December 19th, 2025. And Avatar 4 is on track to come out December 21st, 2029, followed by Avatar 5, December 19th, 2031. When I tell you we gonna be in the retirement home still watching Avatar movies, whew, my goodness, my man is going to be working from the grave. From the grave, he gonna be like, I told y'all about Avatar 13, and we gonna be like, yeah, we still here. So anyway, I just like the fact that he was conscious enough to shoot the movies concurrently, because look at Stranger Things. How often have we come across this situation where you're working with young actors and movies take obviously a long time, to shoot and to make, and then these young actors grow up. You know what I'm saying? You had this little kid, now the kid got facial hair and they voice changing. Like, so the fact that he was able to shoot these things ahead of time, I think that's just brilliant. And listen, you gonna let that goat work. Let that goat work. Anyway, what do y'all think about these updates for the future Avatar movies? Does this make you hopeful, or are you kind of like, man, I don't even care about Avatar? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Let's see. Ms. B, what you got? I thought Danny was Hispanic Latino. I don't know. Was he? I don't know. Because if he was, that makes the whole Tom Holland thing by the creator even more ridiculous. Even more. Oh my. If somebody can look that up and let me know, was Danny Hispanic or Latino? I don't know. I don't remember the show that well. But if he was, shame on that creator. Shame on him. How you, man? Listen, no, I don't even want to snap, because it's like, you're not gonna whitewash Danny like that. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him. Give him some Hispanic roots. If he's Hispanic, I don't know. But anyway, if he is, that's fun. Oh, okay. So Kristen, he's Irish and French. Oh, okay, then he good. Then. Yeah, Tom can do that. Tom can do some Irish. That. Yeah. All right. Cool. Let's see. let's see. Thank you so much. Diddy, what you got? Tom just has that young face, just like Bianca Lawson. Man, that woman never ages. Ever. Like, hold on. Let me pull this up for people, because something ain't right with her. Something is not right with her. It don't make no sense. Have y'all know who you talking about? Bianca Lawson been playing a teenager for 30 years. Yeah, she has. Look at this woman. Look at this. This makes no sense. She is 44 years old. 44 where? 44 how? How is that 44? Nothing about this makes sense. What kind of alkaline water is this woman drinking? And she just so happened to be, wait, like, this don't even make sense. Like, I know we talk about black don't crack. This black don't, I don't listen. That's black magic. That's magic. I'm sorry. Ma'am, what is in them jeans? My goodness. Nah, she got vampire in her blood somewhere. Because something ain't adding up. It ain't adding up. But yes, you're right. As for Tom, he does have that young face, and it's really because he ain't got no facial hair. If he had some facial hair, I'm sure that would change. But here's the thing: we don't know how long he gonna look like that. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it too much, but I'm just saying sometimes these actors that be looking real young now, all it take is one hard year, okay? One hard year of life when life is lifing and they don't look the same no more, okay? That age jump, pow, hits you out of nowhere. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't bank. If I was Tom, I wouldn't bank on that forever. And if I was him, I'd be drinking extra water every day. Anyway. Let's see, Anthony, what you got next week? Talk about Funimation shutting down and how that increase could anime piracy. Look up Goodbye Funimation. I'll see. I'll look into it. I'm not that savvy into that space, even though I do watch anime. So I try not to talk about things I'm not too familiar with. But I'll see. The news is compelling. Sure. All right. Oh yeah. So, as you guys know, James Gunn has taken over for DC. He has created his own DCU version of the franchise because, DC's been in shambles for years. It's just not been living up to its full potential. And one person or one character that was announced and that is up there for us to see is going to be the Green Lantern, right? During his announcements, James Gunn did talk about how we were going to get a Green Lantern Corps, and there were going to be 2 co-leads, probably Hal Jordan, but there's also the possibility that we would get John Stewart, right? Okay, the Black Green Lantern. Hey, well, somebody has stepped up to the plate, and that is none other than brother Aldous Hodge, because my man said, I want it. That's mine. Let's go. So he said he is down for the cause. Here's what he said here in the interview. I would love to live out the rest of the legacy of Hawkman because we had some amazing plans for him, but also with Jon Stewart in sort of a live action capacity. I mean, I voiced Jon Stewart in the animated space for years now, few years. Phil Lamar, shout out to Phil Lamar, passed the baton. Shout out to Phil because I'm a big fan of his work. But if that became a film adaptation, absolutely. I mean, that was one of my dreams growing up, was to be Jon Stewart in live action. So yeah, man, brother, yes. yes. Listen, I'm a huge Aldous Hodge fan. I thought he was one of the few good things in Black Adam. His role as Hawkman was definitely cool. I believe he was auditioning for T'Challa. That was just my personal belief. But this guy, he's got it, right? I think he is still kind of underrated. I do enjoy him as an actor. And I think he would be fantastic as John Stewart in Green Lantern. James Gunn did say that whoever plays any type of character, they're going to play the character on the TV shows, in movies, and in animation. And well, he's already done the animation, so it is possible that maybe they just continue with him. But I think that would be a fantastic move if he were to play that. I'm rooting for him. I hope he gets it. That'd be great in my opinion. But y'all let me know, what do you think about Aldous Hodge playing the Green Lantern in the DCU? Do you like it? Maybe you got somebody else in mind. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments. All right, let's move on. We also now have a Game of Thrones update. Of course, Game of Thrones being one of the probably best TV shows to date. I know that final season was rough. Don't get me wrong. I know, but let's not act like them previous seasons didn't have almost everybody in a chokehold for like years. But Game of Thrones has been lit for the longest. But one of the things that a lot of people have been very highly anticipating are the spinoffs. So we already got House of the Dragon. And them dragons, they be hitting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm waiting for season 2. We're definitely gonna cover it because that was a great show. I really, really enjoyed House of the Dragon. So so far the spinoffs have a good they have a good reputation of keeping up the quality that we would expect from this whole franchise. Now, there have also been other Game of Thrones spinoffs that have been talked about in the past. What was one of them? I want to say it was like a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Hedge Knight. What was that? That's the one with yeah, I don't know what that is, but then there's Dunk and Egg. I think they're going to potentially do that one as well. But we also heard that Jon Snow might also get his own little spin-off show. That's still kind of up in the air. We don't know. And there have also been other spin-offs that pretty much got canceled because HBO just wasn't feeling it. So, which I like, by the way. If you're not feeling it, don't put it out there. Don't force it just because it's got Game of Thrones and you know people gonna like it. If you're gonna put something out there, do it because you know it's you really gonna put some behind it, and it's going to be some good quality. Well, it looks like we have our new one here, which is confirmed here, and it says Game of Thrones, Aegon's Conquest. The spinoff is now in the works at HBO. It says HBO is partnering with Mattson Tomlin, and he was the writer for the Batman and also doing Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2. It says Aegon's Conquest is basically a direct prequel to the hit House of the Dragon, telling the story of the Targaryens' bloody and brutal conquest of Westeros. The story follows the invader Aegon Targaryen, who conquered the continent of Westeros with his sister wives, Rhaenys, I guess, and Visenya, and their dragons. Aegon successfully unified 6 of the 7 kingdoms in just 2 years, with only Dorne able to successfully resist. Yo, shout out to Dorne. Okay, shout out to Dorne and my man Pedro Pascal, who played that the prince from Dorne. Oh man, I'm still hurting. Man. But Dorne, I like Dorne. Like Dorne looked like a spot I would go vacation, back in the day. But anyway, I like this. I like everything about this. There's a little bit more. It says here one source described the project as taking a back to basics approach to George R.R. Martin's epic fantasy universe. I don't know what that means. Back to basic, like, isn't that what House of the Dragon did? Like, when did y'all stop going back to the basics? Like, okay, like whatever. So far I have not been disappointed. So I think HBO knows what they're doing. I think this sounds like a really, really cool story to, adapt. So I'm here for it. They have gained my trust. I'm not going to sit here and doubt them per se. So yeah, I'm here for it. But y'all let me know. Are you interested in this Game of Thrones spinoff with Aegon the Targaryen, the Conqueror? Are you not interested? Maybe you don't care about Game of Thrones at all. Maybe you're still scarred from that last season. I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Natalie, what you got? Met Aldous as an intern. He lives up to the hype. Yes. You know what? So I showed y'all the pictures before. I met him as well. Definitely got to talk to him a couple times. Super cool guy. Very, very cool guy. See now if I get to run into him again, I don't think I will, but if I do, I definitely got to talk to him about Green Lantern and be like, look, bro, what needs to happen? Like, what do we need to do to get you in that role? I need this brother to win. I want him to win. Okay. So I am there for sure. But yeah, you guys let me know how you feel about the whole Aldous thing. But I'm glad you got to meet him. I'm glad you did. That was really good because he is a stand-up guy. He is that guy that when you talk to him, he feels like a normal guy. He don't feel like he feeling himself or nothing. Like, cool, down to earth guy. All right. Let's see. All right, Tony, let's go here. I wonder why did Warner Brothers get so butthurt over the bad critics and bad Rotten Tomatoes over Batman v Superman, and they turned their backs on Snyder? Do you think because he was making them look bad? Interesting question. Um, I think that at that time, because you're talking about 2016, give or take, around that time. Um, and keep in mind, this is before the industry really changed into what it is today. I think that the people that were in charge at Warner Brothers at that time, they were way more into the old way movies were made and how the industry worked. In other words, that was back when they did care about what the reviews and critics would say, because at that time, critics and press had more leverage and more weight to influence people's perceptions compared to today, where you'll have, let's say, social media and influencers, people that, maybe you're not a critic, but you just happen to have millions of subscribers or whatever. Now they kind of lean that way. So this is where you start to see the shift in movies trying to be made from good quality to movies being made for the fans. Because if they're for the fans, they don't care if the quality's good because y'all gonna pay up anyway. So I do believe that I don't know if it was so much of what Snyder was doing to them. I don't think they cared about that. I think they were chasing the money. And the money usually is going to come from good news, positive marketing, and more butts in seats. So I think that's what it was, more so than anything. I don't think the general public, I don't think that they really were affected by Snyder as much compared to the general public's perception of their films, if that makes sense. But thank you so much, Tony. I always appreciate you. All right, let's move on. Well, guys, if you've been following me for a while now, I've already told y'all how I felt about the Eternals movie. I didn't care for it. I thought that it was made well. Chloe Zhao, I thought, made the movie technically fine, but I just did not find it entertaining. I did not find it as something rewatchable. I watched it the first time and I was like, I'm good. you know and I think that more people started to hate on the movie over time, whether that's justified or not, whatever. Um but I do give points to, um I did I gave points to Marvel for trying something different. They wanted to try to do something a little bit more art house, a little bit more dramatic. They tried to tell a love story, which I don't think they successfully did. And it was cool. Like, I'm always here for you trying new things to see what works, because sometimes even we don't know what we like and when that thing is going to work for us or not you know and yeah, this movie was kind of divisive. There are people that just hate it and there are people that love it. I'm probably more on the dislike. I don't hate it, but I'm just not motivated to ever watch it again. Either way, and I still gave it a good rating, or passable rating, let me put it that way. Either way, apparently, what did y'all do? Some of y'all hated on this movie so much. Y'all done made my man Kamal Nanjiani, um my man had to go to counseling because he said that he started seeing a therapist because of the bad Eternals reviews. Yikes. He said the reviews were bad and I was too aware of it. I was reading every review and checking too much. He goes on to say it was really, really hard because Marvel thought that movie was going to be really, really well reviewed. So they lifted the embargo early and put it in some fancy movie festivals. And they sent us on this big global tour to promote the movie right as the embargo lifted. You got played. Congratulations, Marvel. You played yourself. Woo, 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 woo. Listen, when did Eternals come out? Wasn't that during the pandemic? Let me see. What year was that? 2021. Ooh, and y'all dropped this while it was still a pandemic. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Not a good time. Not a good time. But yeah, Marvel was gassing themselves up. They really thought that it was gonna be great, or well received. And you know, didn't work out so well. Now keep in mind, Marvel also thought Ant-Man 4 or Ant-Man 3 was gonna be great too. It was kind of this was not a good time for Marvel. During the pandemic, this was not a good time for them because remember, as they kept pushing out content, it was like, man, we got to get this Disney Plus show. Man, we got to jump to this next movie. Man, we got to do this other Disney Plus show. Man, we got to do that. Listen, they never had time to really sit there and be like, yo, how did that last movie do? What can we do? Can we fix this? Can we change this? Can we do? They didn't have that kind of time. They just kept pushing and pushing and running and running. So this is what happens. He goes on here to say it was really hard. And that was when I thought it was unfair to me and unfair to my wife, Emily, and I can't approach my work this way anymore. Some stuff has to change. So I started counseling. I still talk to my therapist about that. Dang, still? It's been 3 years, bro. 3 years? Man, why y'all do that to him? Y'all bogus. Man. But hey, you know what? I'm happy for him that he's getting help because y'all know I'm a big advocate for mental health. You got to protect yourself, protect your peace. But yeah, you cannot be reading everything. Now I am a big advocate of criticism, obviously, right? I'm a film critic. So I don't have a problem with people going into a project or whatever and reading the criticisms, but the hope is that the criticism is something constructive. Now, if you're reading something from some BS nonsense, place or whatever, or if you're reading something that is not constructive and all they're doing is just trashing you, bro, you got to learn how to turn that off. You got to learn how to swipe that page and just move on because it's not helpful, right? Like, this is why I don't sit here and only talk about bad stuff. I will talk about what's bad. I will try to talk about what's good, or vice versa, because it's never coming from a place of only love and only hate. It's always going to come from a place of here's what I thought could have been, or here's what I thought worked, and here's what I thought didn't work. That's all. But man, I can totally see how that could be messed up, especially if you consume yourself with that. So I feel for him. I really do. I hate that he had to go through that. But yeah, that's messed up. But anyway, what did y'all think about Eternals? Did you like it? Were you so on it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Nelson, I enjoy Eternals. It's a superhero soap opera. Okay. I I didn't get that. I yeah. I've seen better soap operas. I've seen better love stories. That's just me. Thank you for that. Minister, why did you send your review to Eternal? Come on, man. I didn't do that. Stop it. Don't do that. Why you got to put me in this? I didn't even do nothing. I told you I gave it a positive review. I didn't like it. Like but I get, because of the way I score things, it ended up having more positives than negatives. But this is not a movie that I want to go rewatch. Technically, the sound, cinematography, it was cool. Visuals, it was cool. Performances here and there, cool. Writing, not so much. Action choreography, not so much. You know what I'm saying? Like plot structure, not so much. So, I didn't do it. I gave him a positive. I gave him, it was like, yeah, I gave him positive. If I remember. I don't know. Anyway, why are you trying to put me under bus? I didn't do nothing. Come on now. Nelson, what you got? Had to admit too much Marvel content in 2021. Yeah, yeah, that was I keep telling y'all that's the reason why Marvel really suffered these last in all of phase 4. They were doing too much and not enough quality control. It happens. This was not a good thing. Kiki, I had a good nap during Eternals. Kiki, why are you like this? Why? Just like I did during Batman v Superman. Kiki, I want you to take it to thank you, Kiki, for your comments. I appreciate you as always. I really do. Nelson, Eternals was way better than Ant-Man 3 or Thor 4. Low bar, but yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a low bar. Yeah. JN, what you got? Eternals was a C minus at best. I agree with that. Yeah, I think I'd be very close to grading it very similar. Yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's move on. Oh, Denzel. So come on now. Who don't like Denzel? Denzel's got a new movie coming out. Of course, Denzel, come on now. Denzel is one of the most legendary working actors today. I mean, almost everything and anything this guy does is probably going to be great, or at least good to great. I believe he's already confirmed for Gladiator 2. He's supposed to be in that. But he is now going to do a new movie with a very, very familiar friend. And that is Spike Lee. Yes, that's right. Spike Lee and Denzel are teaming up again. This dynamic duo, they've already, if you recall, they've been doing things like Mo Better Blues, Malcolm X, He Got Game, and Inside Man, which I enjoyed each and every one of those. But it says here that Spike Lee and Denzel are reuniting. This is going to be an Apple original movie, an A24. They're partnering together, and it's going to be High and Low, which will be released theatrically by A24 before it goes on Apple TV. Now, this is going to be a remake of the original film. And it says here the 1963 film starring Toshiro Mifune was based on the Ed McBain novel King's Ransom, which chronicles the ruin of a businessman following a ransom payment to kidnappers. So that is going to be the movie. Guys, I have never seen High and Low. I was actually kind of hoping that some folks here that might have seen High and Low, has anyone seen it? If you have seen it, let me know. Was this good movie? Was it great? I know nothing about High and Low. So I am actually going to go into this completely fresh, completely clean, and just give it, because I mean, didn't he do Old Boy, if I'm not mistaken? So I want to say, like, I mean, listen, Spike got a nice admiration for Asian films, and like kind of like redoing them in a modern way. So listen, y'all had me at Denzel and Spike. Like, yes, I was sold off of just that. So I don't know. If anyone has seen it, please let me know your thoughts on the film. But I don't know. Are you like me? Maybe you are sold on the fact that it's Spike and Denzel and you don't need to know nothing else. Maybe you need to see a trailer. Maybe you need a little more. Maybe you don't like it at all. Whatever it is, let me know in the comments down below. Let's see. Club E fam. I like that. That's a nice one. Good one, T. All right, let's move on. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is I guess we could talk about this. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about this. So, in case y'all recall, we had talked about this before, which was Coyote versus Acme. And this was supposed to be kind of like a Roger Rabbit style movie, with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. And you know it went through a whole bunch of issues at Warner Brothers. I have a whole video explaining what happened with it, so you can check it on my channel. And if you are interested, but just kind of give you a quick recap. Basically, the movie was already in the can, it was already shot, it was produced, all of that stuff. And Warner Brothers was like, we probably gonna scrap this movie. And it really sucked because the people that worked hard on the movie, that the director gave up like 2 years of his life to go live in another location away from his family just to finish the movie. They gave him a budget of X amount of dollars. He stayed under budget. He finished the movie. Like, you literally hire someone to do a job, they finish the job, and you about to say, nah, we gonna throw all this away. So we heard that other directors and producers in Hollywood were able to see the movie, screen it. This movie tested highly. This movie tested almost as well, if not the same, as other movies that got put into theaters under Warner Brothers. So in other words, there was very little signs as to why Warner Brothers would want to scrap this movie, because it was already done. It had good ratings, at least with the screenings. And what do you have to lose, right? Anyway, after some public backlash, especially from the producers and other people in the industry. Oh, and by the way, the directors in Hollywood started to team up and be like, hey, man, if Warner Brothers about to scrap your movie, who's to say they won't scrap our movie? And that's not good for business. That's making people really question whether they should mess with you or not. So Warner Brothers said, okay, wait a minute. Hold on. We was just playing, y'all. We gonna let y'all try and sell this movie to somebody else. Maybe Amazon will buy it, Netflix, somebody else. We will give a shot to buy this movie and give it new life somewhere else. And they were like, cool, that's fine. At least give people a chance and let's see what happens. And as you guys know, this is a very similar situation to what happened with Batgirl. Batgirl did not get a chance to live on. It didn't even get a chance to be finished. It just got written off as a tax write-off. And that really sucked, because the directors was like, yo, like, our movie, it was not cool. So anyway, Coyote versus Acme at least had a chance to go ahead and sell it. And we have an update now on what's going on with it. And it says here, per the wrap, Warner Brothers Discovery has refused all offers from other studios and streamers for the distribution rights to Coyote versus Acme. It says here, producer Chris DeFaria was told by Warner Brothers that the studio now just wants to get this behind them and close the books on the movie's potential release. An unnamed source close to the film also believes that Coyote versus Acme will be silently canceled without the studio publicly addressing the movie's fate. Ooh, they finna kill it quietly. Now, here's something else. It says here, we had Netflix and Amazon showing interest, but Paramount had even reportedly screened the film with the idea of planning a theatrical release, joining the others in submitting handsome offers for the rights. However, WB reportedly wanted 75 to 80 million for the film, which would have doubled the 35 to 40 million that they plan to make if they write it off. So that sounds to me like Paramount or Netflix, somebody was like, hey man, how about we give you like 50 million? Let's give you 45 million. Because WB only spent like 30, maybe 40 something million in this. And somebody else, all these other studios was like, look, we'll give you some bread for this. Give it to us. We're going to put it in the theaters and all that. And according to this report, WB is like, nah, we just rather write this off and claim that 35, 40 million back. Now, Like I said, one of the bigger issues with this, some things are bigger than money. You're trying, first of all, you denied the offers to have this movie be bought out because you want to pocket the 35, 40 million dollars. I get that. Okay. Not saying it's right, but I understand what you're trying to do. But my question is, at any point have you really considered what this move is going to do long term? Short term, you get that, 30, 40 million dollars back in your pocket. Okay. But what is that going to do long term? How many directors are going to sit here and be like, first you say you was going to get rid of that movie, then you said you was going to give it a chance. Then when other studios were going to buy it, you said no because you wanted double the money, and now you're going to kill the movie again. Who's going to trust you moving forward? After you pocket your 30, 35 million dollars or whatever, who going to make you more money later? Your 2023 taxes is going to look great. What about your earnings for 2024, 2025, and moving forward when nobody want to mess with you? Did you not learn from the last WB regime? The last regime at WB, keep in mind, WB has gotten messy. It ain't just with DC. They've been messy in general. You're talking about executives that had turnover after turnover after turnover, had to get bought out because remember, what did they do during the pandemic? All these movies that were supposed to go to theaters, yes, we had a pandemic. They could have held them. They could have postponed them. They said, nah, we're going to drop them all on HBO Max, cutting up a lot of people's opportunities to make the theatrical money that they were supposed to make. They dropped Godzilla on streaming. They dropped The Matrix on streaming. They dropped, all these other things on streaming. And guess what? They got lawsuits and they got a whole bunch of people pissed. Y'all let Christopher Nolan walk that way. Y'all let Christopher Nolan, the guy that consistently makes y'all money, y'all took that. He's a perfect example. He took his nerdy little scientist that makes A-bombs, walked his little tail over to Universal, and made them almost $1 billion. All because y'all are bad at business. Y'all don't understand that, yes, this short-term financial gain is one thing, but the long-term relationship building that you're doing, that's way more valuable. Hey, y'all just had The Flash and it flopped. Y'all put a whole lot of effort into The Flash. Y'all gave Tom Cruise a whole secret, screening and everything. Y'all did all that nonsense for The Flash and flopped. Meanwhile, you got smaller investments that potentially have bigger returns, and y'all just scrapping that, and it's probably going to hit y'all even worse down the line. If that was not enough, there's one more line here that's probably even more egregious. And if you've been online or if you've been in the little Twitter film space or whatever, when I tell you people don't like WB right now, but this was probably the kicker. This was it. The new report added that the 4 Warner Brother execs who canceled the film still have not actually watched the final cut. That said, to include the CEO, the WBD president, the head man in charge, David Zaslav, along with Warner Brothers. You mean to tell me, not only did y'all want to burn this bridge, not only did y'all want to screw this director and all the people that worked on this just to save a couple of $1 million and jeopardize future relationships, y'all didn't even bother to see the movie? I mean, it's one thing if you say, yo, we saw this, it's trash, we not gonna do it. I get that. Might not agree with it, but I get it. At least you seen it. Y'all didn't even watch the final cut. Whoo, man. So, um, Either way, either way. Um, this is gonna suck. This is gonna suck either way. Um, actually, what was the production on that? 'Cause I don't remember how much this costs. Hold on, let me see. What was the budget? Oh, okay. So it's saying here that the budget was about $70 million, according to Google. So, um, you know, budget was 70 million, but you're only going to get a tax write-off of 35, 40 million. I mean, it really depends on what those offers were from the studios, I guess. But to me, I still think that the long-term impact is still going to be a bigger problem. The whatever hit WB might have made from this in the short term, I don't think that's going to compare to the fact that your future potential employees don't want to mess with you because they can't trust you. They're not going to sit here and devote 1-2 years of their life for something that no one's ever going to see, like at all, just for a tax write-off. That's not good business. That's not, like, you're wasting people's lives, not their time, their lives. And I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like this happens and you start seeing directors sue them. I would not be surprised. Or at least maybe moving forward, you might start seeing directors put that in their contract. Like, if you scrap this movie, you still gonna pay you still gonna pay. You're gonna do something. Compensate me at least. Because that cannot be the way business continues. Cannot. But anyway, um, guys, y'all let me know. What do you think about this whole Coyote versus Acme situation? Um, this is definitely not going in WB's favor, at least in terms of the public reaction from people in the industry. But y'all let me know whatever you think. Put it in the comments down below. All right, what we got here? David, what you say here? Yes, that was the former ownership. And they are currently trying to get Nolan back, but that doesn't change the fact that the people that have been in charge over and over and over again have made terrible public decisions. Like they don't have the best optics in their favor at this point, and it's just not a good look. They just do not have a good look going for them. And it's sad that it's a constant thing that happens even with different people in charge. What do they say? Like, whenever you get to a place of business and they be under new management, you be like, oh, okay, new management, that means something's gonna be better. At least you hope so. Ooh, but if it's still trash after new management, it's like, well, what is going on? Maybe this place is cursed. Maybe it's just not gonna work. I don't know. But thank you for that. Tracy, what you got? Your review of Dutchman sounded good. So I Googled it to see if it was streaming. Turns out it is being remade. Oh, per Deadline, starring Kate Mara, and just added out as Hodge. What? Word? Hold up. Wait a minute. I did not know that. Hold on. Really? It is. Wow, Tracy, thank you for that. Look at that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on now. I know y'all not gonna put these two against each other now. Wait a minute. I'm a man. Hold on. Don't be putting the brother versus the sister now. That is not how that's supposed to go. I don't. Nope. Nope. I don't know if I like that now. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I think it worked a whole lot better when it was a black man and a white woman. I think that worked better, especially given the context. I don't know if I'm gonna feel this. I don't know, because I don't want it to be a male versus female thing, especially given how it ends. Like, I don't think I like that now. I like both of these. I like both of them, but I don't like. Tracy, thank you so much. That's dope. Thank you. I did not know that at all. But that's cool. Listen, I'll be here for it. I will keep an eye out for that now, because that definitely is something that will get my attention. All right, bam, we got a Predator update. So I have always been a fan of the Predator franchise ever since, we were told to get to the chopper. It has definitely been one of my favorite franchises, even though it has had some misses. It has not always been, um, one of the strongest. I had mixed emotions with Predator 2. I still think Predator 1 is the best. Um, what was the Predator versus Alien was okay, not that great. Predators, when they went to the planet, I think I did like that one. Prey was probably the second best in my opinion. Prey was a really, really solid one where I felt like they were getting back to basics. They were getting back to what made the franchise work. Oh, that Predators movie, trash. Oh, that was bad. That was just not good at all. That oh god, ugh, yuck. They could have thrown that out. That was a tax write-off. That one should have been a tax write-off. But we do have some news here because, of course, after the success of Prey, the question is, well, what are y'all gonna do next? What's up after this? And we do have an update here. Oh, I didn't highlight it for y'all. Hold on, let me highlight it for you guys. We'll do it. We'll do it the old way. So we have a new Predator movie is in the works, and it is with Dan Trachtenberg, I believe. So he's the guy that directed Prey. Okay, so he was the one that did Prey, and he's coming back for another movie. It is going to be titled Badlands. And they also said here that, sorry. The new Predator feature is not a sequel to Prey. It is not a sequel, which was set in 1719 and centered on a young Comanche woman forced to fight for survival against the intergalactic hunters. But this is going to be a brand new story. Plot details are kept secret, but this one is said to be sometime in the future. And this one is also going to feature a female lead. I already know some people gonna be triggered by that, whatever. But I'm here for it. I'm okay with this. Let's go. I want to see what time frame they go in with this. I wonder if you're doing a female lead, if you're going forward 1700s or whatever. I mean, I had talked about, I know some people had talked about doing samurai, doing a samurai thing with Predator. Personally, I don't think a samurai works. I know some people think it sounds good, but I don't think cinematically it makes sense, especially with the way a samurai fights and the way the Predator hunts. To me, that just, it doesn't make sense on screen. But I made a whole video about it where I said, no, if you're going to do something with the Predator, you need ninjas. Predator versus ninjas. Are you kidding me? First and foremost, ninjas make everything better. Everything. Like, you had Roman centurions, you had Native American warriors, you had, all these warriors in the past. Don't nobody compare to ninjas. Are you kidding me? Ninjas are automatic upgrades. Put ninjas in everything, and I guarantee you it's better. Let me tell you something. Y'all know I love me some Power Rangers. You want to know one of the best Power Rangers ever? Ninja Power Rangers. Come on now. When they made Power Rangers Ninjas, that was it. Listen, go watch my video because I made that video a long time ago, but I explained why it would make a lot of sense of making a Predator movie with ninjas, because you can still take the samurai angle. And if you recall, I believe this is accurate, ninjas derived from being dishonored samurais. Like they were the samurais that, were like, man, we just gonna cut them corners. Okay, forget all that honor stuff. We about to just get the job done. Okay, they was the Navy. They was like the black ops of the samurai clans. Okay, when the honor and the sword wasn't cutting it, they was like, choo, 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 ninja stars, choo, choo, ninja vanish. Listen, I want ninjas. I'm sorry, this is not even about Predator no more. I just want more ninjas. Okay, at the end of the day, give me more ninjas. It's an automatic win. But anyway, Badlands is going to be the next Predator project that we can look forward to. It does say here that the studio is going to be looking forward to more Predator films or side movies, I guess. But either way, I'm here for it. I've been watching Predator since forever. But y'all let me know, what do you think about this upcoming film? Again, it's not a sequel to Prey, but it is going to be something in the Predator landscape from the same director of Prey. Are you excited? Is this something that you want to see? Are you interested? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. Tony, what you got? Shane Black's Predator movie was decent, especially knowing Shane's nice style of humor and bold move in like Iron Man 3 and Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. So I can't agree. I can't. It didn't work for me. It did not work for me. That Predators movie was stupid. It was stupid. I'm sorry for me. And that does not mean that other people can't find enjoyment in that. I did not care for it, nor that style when it comes to the Predator franchise. It felt like a parody. It felt like something. I mean, we literally went through. I mean, it's almost like if you took the Alien franchise and made that a comedy. Like, we've had like X amount of movies where these aliens are tearing people up, and now you want to put in humor and stuff. Sometimes the switch up don't always work. Again, if it works for you because you like that type of humor, that's fine. But I'm the kind of person where if you tell me this is what a franchise is all about, this is what my expectation is, I'm expecting you to follow through with that. I don't want to change up. Let me give a different example. It's almost like if you were to take John Wick and replace the action and put in a musical. Yeah, you're still shooting guns, but it's all musical, dancing, and ballet. That's not what I signed up for. Okay. Maybe some people like it. Not me. No thanks. I'll pass. And Kiss Kiss Bang was probably good. That was a good one. Iron Man 3 was all right, but yeah, I don't know. I can't defend Predators. I just can't. Like, it's just I did not like that movie. Just did not. But I'm glad you liked it. That's cool. That's cool. Boss, what you got? WBD also caught attention of Congress with that tax thing, fraud. They already think Hollywood mergers are monopolies. Zaslav is not smart at all. I forgot to mention that. I mentioned it in my other video, but yeah, like they could be under investigation for that kind of stuff, and this ain't helping because whatever senator it was had already called them out and was like, yo, how y'all gonna sit here and keep on having these movies go up and then you write them off as tax write-off? Like, it's suspect. It's kind of, I think, what was it? The senator had said something like, it's almost like burning a house down, burning a building down and collecting the insurance money. Like it's shady. It's definitely shady. So thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Ism, what you got here? Hey man, they got all these set photos of Daredevil, Born Again, and Deadpool 3 nowadays. Do you think this planned or really leaks? I think unfortunately it's a combination of both. No, I don't think it's planned. No, because a lot of the like, especially Daredevil, like that's shot in New York. And the sets are just open, like I don't think these things are planned per se. I mean, you literally had Ryan Reynolds talking about how please stop, like stop doing all the leaks. I mean, and honestly, like, I don't like them. I don't like leaks. That's why I don't talk about them. That's why I don't post them. That's why I'm not, like I might post a little something here or there if it's not spoilery, right? Be like, hey guys, this is the first time we've seen Wolverine in this costume. Okay, that's one thing, right? Or like even the Daredevil thing, like, oh, costume, sure, that's one thing. But people have been posting things like, hey, here's a new character. Hey, here's a story development that's going to happen. That kind of stuff, I don't like that. And I know for a fact the studios don't like that because it can potentially ruin the viewing experience for people. If they go in there knowing, oh, I don't know, this character's gonna die or whatever, that's not a good thing. That's not good for business. So yeah, I wouldn't say they're planned, but I would say that they probably don't care for it as much either. All right. Let's jump into this one here. Coogler. Ryan Coogler has got that secret movie. Ooh-wee. So we talked about his secret movie last week, and this was the movie where it's Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. Of course, y'all know that they are going to tag team in almost every single movie. I don't think Coogler has a movie without Michael B. Jordan in there in some capacity. And you know what? Look, that's fine. You know, directors can have their favorites with their actors. Like, De Niro going Scorsese and Scorsese going Leo. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, if they want to keep it in the family, let them do that. Let them do that. So I have no problem with them. These brothers have been cooking for a long time and they've been doing good things. But like I said, that they had this movie. It's supposed to be like what do we talk about? It was supposed to be a genre movie, something in the past. We were hearing rumors about vampires, but the movie had not been bought yet. This was a movie that was so secretive that they had other studio executives coming to their building just to watch it to maybe buy it. So it sounds like they actually got it bought, and we have a little bit more details on what is going to happen with this. And of course, lo and behold, here we go. We just got done talking about them. WB has emerged as the victor for Ryan Coogler's next feature film. Coogler did write this, and he will direct it with Michael B. starring in this role. Let's see. We do have a little bit of info here. Suspected. It says it is an original project that has commercial and franchise potential. So whatever this is, this could be bigger. This could be something that will not just be a one and done. It has the potential to keep going and being bigger. It also says here, according to sources, the project has been described as a period thriller. Some had said that it takes place in the Jim Crow era South, involving the undead. Some sources have said it also contains some anime influences. Well. Now, this kind of makes things interesting. Now, here's the thing: anime influences, the undead. Now, we heard some talk about vampires before. Now, what I like was, especially when I read about this whole anime thing, first thing that came to my mind in terms of vampires and anime was Vampire Hunter D. Come on now. Where my anime fans at with that? I know y'all have seen Vampire Hunter D. That probably had to be Vampire Hunter D and Ninja Scroll probably had to be one of my first anime movies that I watched, and that really kicked me into high gear into anime. I was like, anime can do this? Oh, we doing it? I love Vampire Hunter D. I need to go rewatch that, by the way. But I was sitting here thinking, I'm like, yo, is that where y'all going with this? Because I had some friends of mine and people saying, and I saw the comments, people like, oh man, is he going to do Blade? Is this going to conflict with Blade and all that? No, first of all, he can't do Blade because Blade's already under production in Marvel. And even if he did do something with vampires, that does not mean that Michael B. Jordan is going to be a half vampire running against, fighting against other vampires. There are other vampire type of stories. Here's one thing I was thinking: he could be a Van Helsing type of character. He could be a character, a guy who's simply going out and hunting vampires, just like Van Helsing. And I'll tell you what, the moment they mentioned Jim Crow era South, I started thinking, what if we get Django with zombies? I wouldn't be mad about that. Or if it's not zombies, Django with vampires. Imagine Django going around freeing slaves because the masters was out here sucking the blood of the slaves. Ooh, get the metaphoricals in here, okay? Sucking the blood out the slaves, and Django had to go set them free. I could see that happening. I'm just saying, maybe they vampires. I don't know, but we got one more tip. And this is breaking news. We just got this right now. It says here, Michael B. Jordan's character, Michael B. Jordan is going to star as twins in this 1930s era vampire movie. So we are still getting potentially vampires. Maybe it's not zombies, but my man is going to play himself twice. Twins. So there goes the whole Blade idea. But this definitely sounds original. This definitely sounds interesting. So, now I know Jim Crow was not during the slavery. I know. I'm just saying we don't know if maybe they're gonna twist some things around. Maybe there's some things going on in the South where they conflate it. I know. But you never know what's gonna happen. You never know. I don't know. This is the beauty of like fictional storytelling. I don't know. But I'm interested. I like to see what they do with this. Vampires, Jim Crow, twins. I'm in. I'm in. I want to see what happens. I want to see this. I'm here for it. I love when we get to see these type of genre type films that, I love it. I'm here for it. Anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about this? Does this now pique your interest? You got 2 Michael B. Jordans for the price of one. You got vampires, Jim Crow South, Ryan Coogler. What do you think? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. JN, Coogler has the rights to the comic series Bitter Roots. Yes, he does. I think we talked about that last week. Were there twins in that? Because I haven't read Bitter Root. So y'all let me know if anyone has read Bitter Root. Do they have twins in it? Maybe he is adapting it. Does Bitter Root have vampires in it as well? I mean, are these things lining up? Because if they're not lining up, then I don't know what we're talking about. But are they lining up with these rumors that are being reported about this franchise? Let's see. Steven, what you got? Netflix recently canceled Halle Berry's finished next film, Mothership. I hope top talent like her builds in extra fees into contracts if studios scrap films, as it's bad PR for everyone. I agree. And something tells me that, or at least I believe that she probably, especially since Netflix doesn't really do theatrical releases, she probably did get her money regardless. It's more detrimental if a movie was going to go to theaters, because sometimes some actors might have back end deals where they'll be like, hey, I'll take less money up front because we're going to make more money on the back end. Well, if your movie gets scrapped, there is no back end, so that's how people lose out real money and time. So yes, I hope that everybody gets paid one way or another. And I would hope that, especially with the whole actor strike and all that stuff, that might be the next thing they put in their agreement, because that agreement's only 3 years, I think I want to say. So we'll see. JN, what you got? Bitterroot is based off a family of demon hunters in the 1920s. Side note, another good comic book is Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. Could be a great movie. Cool. Thank you so much. By the way, I've been watching the Demon Slayer show. That's a pretty good show right there. I'm all caught up. Love that show. Looks fantastic. Matthew, what you got? No more zombies, no more slave stuff, and no more vamps. Give me a werewolf movie. All right. I'm personally not, I don't really care about werewolves as much. It is what it is, but I'm fine with all of them. I'll take it. But thank you so much for that. Appreciate y'all. All right, so we got Coogler. We got them in there. Oh boy. Let's get into this here. Mandalorian. So we've got some new drama in the Disney streets. In case y'all did not know, way back, I want to say like what 2-3 years ago, Gina Carano had been hired. In case y'all don't remember, that's her right there. She was hired to be in the Mandalorian. She played the role in there, and I liked her. I thought she was cool. I thought she was good. She didn't have like the most important role or anything like that. She just played a side character, whatever. And it was fine. It was fine for what it is. Mandalorian came out in 2019, I want to say. And it was cool. However, Gina been a problem. And Gina has been on a bit of a crusade where she wants to get, she want to say what she want to say. Right? Okay. So because of her expression of saying whatever it is that she wanted to say, it got her into some hot water. And despite Disney / Lucasfilm warning her multiple times, she kept on tweeting what she wanted to say. And at some point, enough was enough. And Lucasfilm was like, all right, cool. We're done. Bye-bye. No more. And they let her go. Well, I shouldn't say that. They didn't let her go. They simply did not renew her contract. And I think that's a very, very big difference that unfortunately a lot of people are not getting. The headlines said that Gina Carano was fired. However, Lucasfilm was just like, we're just not going to renew. So in other words, it's not like she was in the middle of the episode and we still had to see what her next line was going to be in the next episode and they dropped her. That's not how that worked. She completed her job. She completed her contract. She completed what they needed from her. And they said, we're good. No need to come back. We're not going to follow this sideline character anymore. Which, by the way, they have the right to do that. Okay? So, of course, she felt slighted by this because she believed that this was an infringement on her freedom of speech, that Disney was trying to discriminate against her because of her political views and whatever other things that she was saying. And let's make it clear. Let's make this very clear for the people in the back. Freedom of speech, whenever y'all try to bring this up, is only applicable to the government. If you're not talking about the government, when you talk about freedom of speech, you sound stupid. Because everybody is free to say whatever they want, but everybody is not free from the consequences of what you say in society. In other words, if you work for a private company, the private company will be like, say what you want. That's cool. We can let you go because we don't want to mess with you. You free to say what you want, and we free to work without you. That's how that works. So again, unless your government is saying you can't say this, that's when you can talk about freedom of speech. But if you're talking about a private company or you're working at your job or something like that, don't nobody care about what you say. And if they do, they can fire you. That's all. That's the freedom. Go on and keep saying what you want to say. Say what you want to say. You're just not going to say it here. Nobody going to stop you. We're just not going to pay you. That happens. Anyway. So Gina said, yo, I don't like it. And I'm coming for you. So she said she was going to sue Disney over the Mandalorian firing lawsuit. And Elon Musk, the billionaire, was going to pay. He was going to fund it. Says Gina Carano is suing Disney and Lucasfilm for discrimination and wrongful termination in a lawsuit. First and foremost, how you get terminated because they didn't rehire you? You didn't get rehired. How was that termination? They didn't stop you in the middle of anything. Okay, whatever. Now, she alleges that she was fired for voicing right-wing opinions on social media and seeks a court order that would force Lucasfilm to recast her. Elon Musk, making good on a promise to foot the legal bill for users who claim they have been discriminated against due to their activity on his platform, is helping to fund the suit through X. I've never heard of somebody sitting here saying, nope, I take that back. I have heard of it. Never mind. She wants them to recast her. First of all, why? Why do they have to recast you? Why are you acting like your character had a helmet and was carrying a little baby alien the whole time? Ma'am, you was a supporting character. What you want them to say? That, like, what you had for breakfast? Like, what do you want your character to even do? You were not needed in this story anyway. I mean, let's be honest. She's not the greatest of actresses. Shout out to her little MMA career. Shout out to that. But when we talk about acting, ma'am, this was not your lane. Why are you trying to force people to watch you not really act very well? And I'm saying this as someone who enjoyed her role, but I'm also not missing her role. Goes on to say Lucasfilm in 2021 announced that Carano would not be returning. Says most people today don't realize that that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How's that any different from hating someone for their political views? That is what Carano said in a tweet. In other words, what she was doing, let me give you a little more context. This is around the time when the whole election fraud stuff was going on, okay? And because she was espousing all these views about the coronavirus and wearing masks and the election being stolen, she was probably getting other hate online because of this, because she's obviously inciting contrarian views. She's probably getting all this pushback online. And she's like, yo, I'm giving out all these right-wing opinions. And to her, she's like, because I'm giving out right-wing ideas, I'm feeling like I'm being persecuted like the Jewish people during the Holocaust. Well, first of all, ma'am, excuse your face. Who dragged you out into a gas chamber? Who dragged you out and killed you and your entire family. Gina does not, and probably still does not understand that the analogy that she used was ridiculously offensive, especially to Jewish people. You are comparing people that have a disagreement with your political talking points with people that literally were terrorized, mutilated, and murdered. Ma'am, these two things are not the same. Like, in any reality, they're not the same. This would be as silly as a guy complaining about, I don't know, a cold compared to giving birth. Like, bro, shut up. You know, what women go through is nothing what a man goes through if he has a little cold, you know? Like, it's not, the comparison was outlandish and ridiculous. And it's not even close to being a real equivalency on any level. So, because of how offensive it was, that's why Lucasfilm was like, yo, we can't mess with you no more. This is too much. Now, here's the key thing. The former MMA fighter drew the ire of social media users. Okay. In other words, she started getting a whole lot of hate online from a lot of people, and they wasn't feeling her. Now, let me just say right there, just right there, that's cause for any entertainment entity to part ways with you. It doesn't matter what your political views are, your religious views, none of that matters, because you joined in to a business relationship with a company whose primary objective is to be enjoyed and liked by the masses. That's their point. Disney don't get on there to make things, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel or whatever. They're not on there to make people mad. They're trying to make things that most people can enjoy. But if you're sitting here doing things, by the way, they didn't pay you to tweet. You're doing this stuff on your off time, but you're doing stuff in the off time that potentially could hurt their business. Absolutely, they have every right to part ways with you. Absolutely, they have every right to not even entertain to renew your contract. Disney and Lucasfilm harassed, and according to the complaint, she's saying that they harassed her and defamed her for refusing to conform with their viewpoints on the issues relating to Black Lives Matter, preferred pronouns, and disproving claims of election interference. While she was allegedly fired for her cultural and religious beliefs, Carano argues that the entertainment giant turned a blind eye to her male co-stars who allegedly made offensive, denigrating posts directed towards Republicans. So she pointed out to Pedro Pascal's 2017 post comparing President Trump to Hitler. So something lets me know that she might have a real bad problem with making false equivalencies. Because here's the thing. Pedro Pascal made his comment about Trump being like Hitler, whatever, in 2017. And she's saying, how come y'all didn't fire him? Y'all fired me for my tweet. How come you didn't fire him for that? Because Pedro Pascal was not a Disney employee. Pedro Pascal did not become a Disney employee until after 2017. Mandalorian came out in 2019. You want them to go get in the time machine and fire him? And unlike you, he probably stopped making the same type of tweets that you were making, that you got warned for, because Disney did warn her, or I'm sorry, Lucasfilm. They warned her. Let's see. She also brings up claims for wrongful discharge and sex discrimination, She seeks a court order that would force Lucasfilm to recast her at least $75,000 plus punitive damages. Now, unlike employees in the public sector, such workers are not shielded against discipline under the First Amendment. Carano added, I'm honored that my case has been chosen to be supported by the company that has been one of the last glimmers of hope for free speech in the world, which makes no sense because the government is not restricting her free speech. And it is just stupid, once again, when people try to bring that up. It makes no sense. Stop saying things that sound good, but literally make no sense. Stop it. Be better. Now, here's what Lucasfilm actually said, just to give people a little bit more backdrop. This is back in 2021, I want to say. Yeah, so this is back in 2021 as to what happened back then and why Lucasfilm was like, nah, we good. It says Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans to bring her in the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. Once again, what she said, trying to compare her political disagreements with people with the murdering of Jewish people, millions of Jewish people, that's insulting. It's insulting as I was about to cuss. It's insulting. Okay, it is not even close to being there. Some type of equivalency. And it said here, look, the hashtag fire Gina Carano was trending. What did I say before? You are making bad business for your employer. The people that you are actually supposed to be entertaining, the people that you are supposed to be going to work to bring money in and stuff, they didn't even want you. They wanted to fire you. They didn't even want to mess with you. You think a company's supposed to stick with you as you make potentially the situation for them to lose more money? Why? Says, according to sources, Lucasfilm planned to unveil Carano as the star of her own Disney Plus series during the Investors Day, but scrapped those plans following her November tweets. Dang. And you dropped the bag. You dropped the bag. How you fumbled a whole bag? They was about to give you a whole show. Keep in mind, they asked you to just stop. No one's saying that you got to put in your pronouns and you got to do. Listen, I understand if you don't want to do all of that stuff. I get it. Because in some of these cases, I want to say she said that, I guess she made certain comments that might have offended the LGBTQ community, and Lucasfilm tried to have her apologize, or they try to get her publicist to get her to apologize. Okay, I get it. Maybe for religious reasons. Maybe you don't. Okay, whatever. But even at that point, you can still stop. No one's saying that you have to stop believing what you believe. But while you're under contract with this employer that, by the way, you knew who Disney was, you knew who you were working with, you knew what they were aligned with, you signed the contract understanding what they represent, you knew who they were, you got in bed with Disney, Lucasfilm, and you continue to be a habitual line stepper. And then you shocked when they reacted. And all you had to do was just stop. You could have saved all them tweets for after you left. You could have saved all that stuff. You could have just got off social media and collected that bag, have your own little spin-off show that nobody was going to watch anyway, and you could have just been eaten. But now you stuck doing conservative movies that flop, and now you have to sue somebody with a case that probably is going to go nowhere. And for what? And it's funny to me because I keep seeing like a lot of people that are probably more right-wing minded. Again, I don't care what your political bias is. You're entitled to it. But my thing is this, and I'm not even like I'm not even the type of person that roots for Disney or anything like that. Because I remember what Disney did to ScarJo. I remember that. I was sitting here, I was like, yo, go ScarJo, get your money. So I'm not like Team Disney or anything. I'm looking at the merits of the case. And I don't see any merits here. Now, maybe she got some evidence that we don't know. Maybe there's some other stuff that, that's out there. I don't know. But given what we know now, I don't see how this thing makes 2 minutes in the courtroom. I don't see how this judge don't laugh at this and be like, please, out my face. Anyway, y'all let me know. What do y'all think about this whole Gina Carano situation? I think it's even more laughable that Elon want to get involved because he just don't like Disney anyway. But y'all let me know. What do you think about all this? Maybe you're on Team Carano. I don't know. Maybe you're on Team Disney. Whatever you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Steven, what you got? Ryan Coogler is so amazing at casting films, and in particular bad black female characters. Hope he has consulted MCU casting of Storm. Sure, whatever, that's fine. Actually, they don't what is her name? I forget her name. They have another casting director. She's the one that does all the casting. And she does a great job too. I forget the lady's name, but yeah, that's fine. Whatever. That's fine. Listen, just make my Storm dark. That's all I ask. I like to see some dark representation for this African character. Kara, that was her name. Cara Dune. I forgot her name. Whatever. Kara's character. Thank you, Rega. Kara's character had the range of a stick. Carl Weathers, Giancarlo, and the cameos carried the acting performances for the series. This is facts. Look, nobody was checking for her. I mean, she was fine. It was nice to have her in. She didn't hurt it, but meh. Let's see. Steven, what you got? Pedro's sibling is trans, of course. He didn't want to work with someone like her. Disney offered to have her meet with LGBT activists to save, and she passed. Yes, that is correct. She did not want to do a lot of the things that Disney was like, yo, like, we're actually going to work with you. Like, you offended all these people, especially people that you work with, people that, are probably on the crew, whatever. The least you could do is at least apologize. You don't, and here's the thing, people don't really understand this. You are entitled to having whatever religious beliefs, whatever political beliefs, but that does not give you the right to go out and denigrate other people. You don't have to agree with other people's lifestyles. You don't have to agree with other people's beliefs. You don't have to agree with their other type of political beliefs. But it doesn't give you the space or the platform to go and to belittle them or disrespect them. You don't have to do that. No one is asking you to do that. So yeah, that's what, in my opinion, makes it more egregious, is the fact that even if you have a different position or worldview, you still make this conscious decision to go hurt people, and you know that they're hurt. You know that they're offended. You don't care, and you continue. That's just a-hole material, in my opinion. That's a-hole behavior, in my opinion. And again, you can believe what you want, but you don't have the right to go out and just, offend people like that. It's unnecessary. Let's see. Tony, what you got? You need then go watch Ninjas 3 The Domination. Okay. I'm sure. Why not? Listen, I will watch whatever ninja stuff that's out there. So why not? Thank you for that. Let's see. JN, most actors and actresses don't have enough sense to buy gum out of a gumball machine. I like what you did there. I like that. Thank you for that. That's a good one. Let's see. Steven, what you got? A huge part of Disney fans are LGBTQ, maybe queer peoples, really support Princess Line. Disney knows it would be dumb to stand by anti-trans statement. Yes. No, I mean, that's That's true, right? Like, and this is something that's also part of Disney's move to be more inclusive, more diverse. They want to be more progressive. It would not make business sense to say, hey, look, let's just, I'm using an example. I'm not saying that this is her, but it'd be really bad if they're like, hey, we support Black Lives Matter and we support the progress of Black people, but then you gonna keep somebody hired that's actively saying racist things every day on their social media. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. So yeah, it was just never going to work for them. JM, what you got? I would like to see everyone get the same treatment over the offensive comments. Let the rules apply to all. A lot of folks still have popping careers. I don't know who you're talking about, but sure. I mean, I agree. Everybody should get the same consequences for the same actions. Yeah, yeah. I'm with it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're talking about something specific, but yes, people that do bad things should be held at the same, you know, line or accountability. All right, let's get to the last two topics. We got Jonathan Majors, and then we'll get on to Mo'Nique. Oh, Jonathan Majors, Jonathan. Man, I was going to no longer cover Jonathan Majors stories because, a big concern was, of course, whether or not he was going to be Kang in the MCU moving forward. I mean, Marvel really banked a lot on him. And that whole lawsuit, which I've been very open about, I didn't really agree with the lawsuit. I'm sorry, not the lawsuit. I didn't agree with the charges that were levied against them. The way, based off of the evidence that we saw, I didn't think it was worth a year potentially in jail and so on. Nor do I think it was worth throwing this man's entire career away over, again, based off of that one case. Now, with that said, and I said this too, like, I think that the best thing for Jonathan Majors is to stay out of the headlines. Like, just stay out, go farm, go take care of some animals, do something, but stay out the headlines. Let all this stuff die down. Maybe sometime down the line, in a couple years, make a movie, be great in it, and over time, people will forgive and forget and move on. Especially if you don't have repeat behavior, right, or anything close to it. At the same time, and I know I've said this too, one of the worst things that could happen for Jonathan Majors is if more people came out against him. And unfortunately, that is the situation. Because right now, former partners and Lovecraft Country crew are speaking out against Jonathan Majors. It says here in the New York Times piece, it focuses on two women, Emma Duncan and Maura Hooper, who were both in long-term romantic relationships with Majors, both of whom said that he was possessive and abusive physically in one of these allegations. The Times spoke to several women who worked on Major's breakout project, Lovecraft Country, and they described incidents of unprofessional behavior from the star. Now, Duncan, who was engaged to Majors from 2015 to 2019, she claimed physical violence from Majors. Okay. Let's see. Quoted extensively and denies any of the legally actionable bits about threats or actual injuries, but does. Okay, so one of the lawyers does say that Majors was very jealous during the relationship and admits to one incident where Duncan and Majors apparently they both fell into a mailbox while she was trying to prevent him from harming himself. And according to her statement, It asserts that he slammed her body into their mailbox in an argument. This isn't a good look. Not a good look. I don't know. Duncan asserts that Majors told her to kill herself, threatened that I'm going to make sure you can't have children, and on occasion choked her. Now, Hooper had a shorter relationship while they were at Yale and said that she described him love bombing her and isolating her from her support structures. I don't know what love bombing means. If anyone can let me know what love bombing means, I'd appreciate it. They didn't include that in here. Oh, okay. Hold on. I got Google. According to Psychology Today, love bombing is an attempt to influence another person with over-the-top displays of attention and affection. Oh, this kind of behavior is a form of emotional abuse. And although it can be experienced during any stage of a relationship, it's often seen in early stages. What? I have never heard of this. Wow. Okay. Hey, learn something new. I've never heard it. And that's a sign of domestic violence or something. Woo. Okay. So you have, again, these are allegations. You have one allegation of physical abuse, and not just one incident, but multiple incidents. We don't know anything about evidence or whether they're charged. I don't think any charges have been levied at this point. And then you have another one of emotional abuse. This is new to me. I'm not going to pretend like I know. This is the first time I ever heard of love bombing. But, that's the allegation. Goes on to say here, staffers on Lovecraft Country described an altercation with Majors in which he drew this woman, Jessica Polini, drew her into a private meeting on the show's set and told her, "You're not welcome here." What? Wait, there's got to be more. Hold on. He told her, "You're not welcome here." Other female staffers said they warned each other to keep their distance from Majors on the show's set. What? Why is this even in the article? You're not welcome here. Hey, y'all, stay away from Jonathan. What? Now, hey, listen. Those allegations of emotional abuse, physical abuse, okay, I'm not just going to dismiss those things. I still need evidence. I still need testimony, all that stuff. We gonna believe that. And when I say believe, I don't say it's just automatically the truth. I say we take it seriously. I'm not taking that other thing seriously. I'm sorry. Cancel me if you want. I don't care. You're not welcome here. I'm not taking that seriously. I'm sorry. Throw that out. Throw that out. The other ones, okay. I think those deserve some attention. That other line, I don't even know why they included that in the report. They could have tossed that out. But one way or another, this is not a good look for Jonathan. And the reason why I wanted to just bring this up was because I was really hoping that, he can make a comeback. And I don't know if that's possible at this point. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. That's not the way my brain works. I'm not going to be sitting here like, oh man, they were waiting to tear this black man down. I'm not saying that because we don't know all the information. I've been very consistent with that. But what I do know is this type of press is definitely not good for his career in Hollywood. You cannot keep having these type of headlines come out. And for all we know, because we don't know anything yet, who knows if this is going to be more litigation? Who knows if this is going to influence the judge? Because keep in mind, his sentencing just got pushed to April. So we don't even know. He might just get that slap on the wrist, right? Or he faces the potential of 1 year in jail. What if the judge sees these type of things and says, oh, no, we definitely got to put this man away? Anything could influence it. So again, whether this man is guilty or not, this news about him is not going to help. And right now, I think the brother's done. I think he's done. I'm not saying that he's guilty because I don't know. I haven't seen any evidence, but I think his career might be done. Because let's not forget, I think Rolling Stone had done another interview with like 29 people that also said these things. And by the way, let me also make this clear because some people, I've seen some of these comments, and some of the comments are a little cringy, fellas. Look up how domestic violence works. I encourage y'all, because some of y'all are saying things. Why didn't they show up before? Why did they wait all this time? Because sometimes people that are victims of abuse don't have the power, or maybe they're still dealing with the trauma. And maybe when somebody else puts a chink in that armor, that kind of empowers them to finally speak up. So I'm not saying Jonathan Majors did something. What I am saying is, do not be quick to judge potential victims because you don't know their struggle. You don't know their pain. And thank God that you don't. Because unfortunately, I know people that have gone through this stuff and it's messed them up. It's not like it's really bad. So all I'm saying, and I'm trying to help y'all out now. I'm trying to help y'all out. Do not, my history teacher used to tell me this all the time, and it took me a long time to get it. Don't flaunt your ignorance. If you don't understand how domestic violence works, if you don't know what it's like for the person that gets beat up in a relationship, don't comment on how they should do things or not do things, because you don't know. That's all. You don't know. So either educate yourself on it or just leave it alone. That's all. From one brother to another. Leave it alone. I'm trying to help y'all out now, okay? He may be trying to help everybody out now. Anyway, like I said, I don't think this is a good look for Jonathan. The optics are terrible. Whether he's guilty or not, it doesn't matter. I don't see anyone really wanting to hire him at this point. And listen, I pray that the situations work out one way or another. As I've always said, I hope justice is served one way or another. I hope everybody is safe. I hope everybody gets the help that they need. Yeah, so this is tough, guys. So you guys let me know. What do you think about these new developments with Jonathan Majors? How do you feel about these new headlines that are coming out? Whatever you think, guys, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. All right. Let's go. Frigo, what you got? Hey, man. Carano is making films with Ben Shapiro these days. I know. The fact that this woman managed to get on Disney's roster is beyond me. She had done a couple lines. She had what, 4 lines in Deadpool. Then her character barely could talk, which I thought was smart. Be the big, strong woman and do your thing. Kick butt. That's what God made you to do. Man, you've been kicking butt and you've been doing it well. Put that on screen and get paid for it. I love it, but yeah. But here's the crazy thing. Disney was trying to give him more. Disney was literally they was like, we're trying to help you. You messing up. We trying to help you, and we will still gonna give you more money and more back. Man, at some point, maybe it's not Disney. Anyway. Shogun, what you got? Love bombing is kind of like you get the person emotionally addicted to you. Then you act like an a-hole and other abusive things at that point. Yikes. Yikes. Golly. Whew. Oh, thank you for that. Man, the strategy of these, and again, I don't know Jonathan Majors. These are just allegations, but my goodness, if that's some manipulation. Yikes. Frigga Majors is a method actor, so he may have a hard time turning it off, if you will. That's why I say he needs therapy. Yes, I agree with you on that. I think others have testified to that to some degree, that he's very intense with his acting and all that. And at the same time, he will he is in therapy, according to him. He did say that he is in therapy, so there he goes. um oh, okay. Hey, we just got some breaking news here. I don't even know what to do with this, but hold on, let me take this banner off. Breaking news. After nearly working together on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tom Cruise is circling a role in Quentin Tarantino's final movie called The Movie Critic. And Brad Pitt's going to be in there too. Hey, there you go. Look at that. Breaking news. Look at that. Cool. Whatever. I'll check it out. I like Tarantino films. Either way. Let's see. Okay. What is our last topic? Oh, wait. No. I got one more. There we go. Jan, Casey Affleck won an Oscar after allegations. Yes, he did. I didn't agree with it. I thought that he wasn't even the best performance at that time. And yeah, I think that was around the time the Me Too movement, cancel culture was starting to become a thing. So I think he benefited from time. I think he just so happened to get in at the right time, but I haven't followed his case or situation that deeply to comment even further. So I'll leave it at that. What do we have here? Wait. Okay, here we go. All right, this is where wait, let's get this here. All right, time for me to get canceled. All right, we got to talk about Mo'Nique. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll get canceled here. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. I don't know. So how can I start this off? Let me start off with a disclaimer. Some of y'all are not going to like what I'm going to have to say. And some of y'all might. And the reason why I give this disclaimer is because I'm not going to say things that you fully going to agree with. I might say some things that you're not going to like. And the reason why this is going to be the case is because of my observation based off of people's people's viewpoints online. And by the way, y'all already know I respect everybody's opinion, right? But some people are looking at this whole Mo'Nique situation from a black or white perspective. And I mean that figuratively, as in you're either on Team Mo'Nique 100%, or you just hate black women, all of them, and y'all know I don't do the extremes. Okay. Listen, as a film critic, the way my brain works, I look at situations, I try to get context, I agree with some things, and I disagree with other things. And that's just the way I work. So if you are Team Mo'Nique, you're going to have some issues in this video. If you are, man, Mo'Nique wasn't all that funny and I don't like her at all and she get on my nerves, you're going to have some issues. Because I'm going to give her some praise and I'm going to give her some criticism as well. Now, let me give you a little more context. I have been following and commenting and, reading up on the whole Mo'Nique situation for years. Okay, so let me kind of give somebody one little caveat here. If the only information you have watching this video is the only thing you've watched is the Club Shay Shay interview with Mo'Nique, I'm going to ask you respectfully to hold your criticisms, or at least check them at the door, because that's not where I'm coming from. I'm coming from listening to Mo'Nique all the way back from 2017, give or take, when she first started boycotting Netflix, or asking for the boycott. That's where my position has come from all this time. Okay, so I'm not one of those people that only saw Club Shay Shay and that's the only thing I'm going off of. I'm going off of the years where she would talk about the Netflix situation, where she would post, because I watched all her videos. I follow her. I give her the benefit of the doubt. I listen to her. I believe her. So I go ahead and give her the same respect that I do, but at the same time, I also listen to the other sides. I also listen to other things as well. So, for example, she talked about that audio recording where she recorded Tyler Perry. I listened to all 15 minutes of it. I don't know if everybody else did, but I did, because I tried to be fair, right? But anyway, I just wanted to give that disclaimer before people just kind of jump in on these type of things, because this is not a new situation. Now, she went on Club Shay Shay's podcast, and shout out to Shannon Sharpe. My man is out here just taking over the world. My man's already owned January with Cat Williams, and he's already owned February right now with Mo'Nique as well. And the interview was pretty long, and I'd say it was pretty entertaining. You're gonna watch the whole thing, right? You got a good over 3 hours or whatever of this interview, and Mo'Nique basically goes through a litany of issues that she's had for a long time. We have the usual suspects here with her. She has her beef with Oprah. She has her beef with Tyler. She has her beef with, she had beef with Lee Daniels. She had her beef. She still has her beef with DL Hughley. Now she has her beef with Kevin Hart. Who else? Tiffany Haddish. Like, there's a long list here. There is a long list. So I'm going to comment on a couple of the things that were brought up during this. Of course, we don't have time to go through the entire interview. I'm going to give up my just quick reactions and thoughts to some things. And first, let me kind of address a couple things here, because I made a post, social media post, and I think some of y'all were in here, that saw it, maybe disagree with it. Totally fine. Totally fine. I mean, this is why I'd rather talk to y'all rather than just posting a couple tweets here and there, because you're not going to get the full background. But I'm going to address that. But I wanted to address a couple things that I think need to be hashed out first. So, for example, people say right off the bat, why is Mo'Nique getting any type of pushback, but Cat Williams didn't? So let me just say that I know that the comparison is very easy to make. They both were on Club Shay Shay. They both are trending. They both called out people in the industry. So why is one being heralded and one isn't? Well, I would argue that Mo'Nique probably gets a little bit more pushback because there's more information publicly known about her beef, and it goes a lot longer than Cat in terms of what we know publicly. And what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that Cat hasn't had issues for a long time. What I'm saying is, we didn't hear Cat going on a big platform and constantly making headlines about his grievances. We did hear that with Mo'Nique. And this is why I'm trying to say, if all you heard was just the Club Shay Shay interview, you're coming in at a very bad disadvantage, because unfortunately, a lot of people have short memories, or they've just changed their minds, because I was there. I was there in 2017 and 2018 when Mo'Nique was getting on everybody's last nerve. She was getting on people's nerve. And I think people forgot where this started. So let's kind of remind ourselves what happened. Mo'Nique got the offer from Netflix to do a stand-up special. At that time, Mo'Nique was basically offered $500,000. Meanwhile, Amy Schumer, who's not funny, I don't find Amy Schumer funny at all, but at that time, Amy Schumer was blowing up. She literally sold out Madison Square Garden. She was making movies. She was the it thing at the time. She was offered $11 million. Here's the problem. What people forget is that Mo'Nique now is trying to use the whole idea of Black women being oppressed in the industry. And let me be very clear, she's right. There's nothing wrong about that. And I don't think anybody would disagree with that. Who disagrees that Black women get the short end of the stick damn near in all society, right? Medical care, employment, education, like, yes, and they deserve to be supported. No argument there. But that's not where she got pushback. And let's bring it back for the people from that don't remember or did not know. The problem Mo'Nique had was when she was lowballed with that offer, she was not doing anything at that time. Now, yes, she did get blackballed, and we will talk about that. But when Netflix gave her that offer of $500,000, she was like, wait, why'd you give Amy Schumer $11 million? Why'd you give Dave Chappelle $20 million? Wait a minute. What? Why are you comparing yourself to people that are hot right now? Because in her mind, she was like, oh, but I won an Oscar in 2009. Ma'am, that's almost a decade ago. But we was trying to look for a stand-up special. But you're trying to use your resume as an actor as leverage to get you money for stand-up. And I don't know if you guys recognize this. I'm sure you do because y'all are smart. Stand-up is not the same as acting. Being a good actor is not the same as putting on a good comedy special. So prior to that time, Mo'Nique did not sell out Madison Square Garden. Mo'Nique was not in high demand for her comedy stand-up. We're not talking about acting, but for her comedy stand-up, because the last time she was relevant in that specific space was the Queens of Comedy. And I'm sorry, comedy, as we all know, has changed dramatically since the Kings and Queens of Comedy days. So you really can't keep using that as your fallback. So again, the pushback that Mo'Nique got was not because she was fighting for Black people. It was not because she was fighting for Black women. It was because she had this strange self-grandeur type of idea of herself that did not seem to gel with reality. That's where people was like, ma'am, what are you talking about? And at that time, it came off as she was using her personal issues of not being relevant at that time and pimping the real legit struggles of Black women in the industry. In other words, she was like, how come I'm not getting millions of dollars to be offered? See here, Black women get struggled and oppressed all the time. You're conflating the two situations. That's the problem. That's where this pushback came from. So, and again, we'll talk about this too. When we sit here and talk about the Breakfast Club, when they sat here and gave her the donkey of the day, they didn't give her the donkey of the day because she was trying to help Black women. They didn't give her the donkey of the day because she was trying to help out other people in the industry. They gave her the donkey of the day because she thought she was on the same level of relevancy at that time as Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Amy Schumer, which she was not. She thought her legendary status, which had not been relevant for over a decade, was supposed to be enough to carry over. Now, I fully agree that Netflix was bogus with the amount that they gave her. That 500,000 was nonsense. Netflix, y'all had pockets, okay? Because I've seen a whole bunch of other comics out there getting some bread, and I'm like, I think Mo'Nique would have done a lot better there. You know, at least she could have gotten maybe a mil, two, something. But, ma'am, you were not at Amy Schumer level at that time. So, anyway, with that said, and I also want to kind of comment on this whole gatekeeper thing. Part of that is true, but I think people need to stop allowing that to be her crutch, because the gatekeeper thing, while it's very true that it, you know, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah Winfrey, while it is true that that might have stopped her from getting acting roles, that didn't stop her from doing comedy specials. That didn't stop her on going on tour. 10 years ago, yeah. If you trying to get an acting job or whatever, yeah, your best bet is to go through Black Hollywood. But fast forward to today, what's stopping you? I'm seeing people take social media, people like Country Wayne. My man is dropping skits every day, making millions of dollars on social media. I'm seeing people drop podcasts left and right, making crazy amounts of money that way. I'm seeing people do other things, because I'm just sitting here wondering, who else is Tyler Perry and Oprah holding back? Are they literally all that there is? Or are there other avenues today to increase your relevancy? Because that's the key thing that I think a lot of people are missing. It was always about relevancy when you're talking about comedy stand-ups. But anyway, let's get to this actual thing here. Let's get to the actual interview, because she took shots at everybody. And let me be very clear. I do believe that some of these shots were very warranted. I believe that a lot of the people that she talked about and some of the things that she said were very legitimate. Okay, so let's make that clear. First up was Oprah Winfrey. Now, I'll admit, I did not know all the details of what was going on with her and Oprah, but if we're taking her side, then I definitely think she was on point with this. It says here Mo'Nique still isn't happy about Oprah Winfrey inviting her estranged family on her eponymous talk show in 2010. And she basically brought her family, Oprah brought her family in to sit down for a talk about their drama. Now, according to Mo'Nique, I believe there were some members of her family that she was like, she did not know were going to be on the show, and Oprah went ahead and put them on anyway. That's not okay, especially if y'all had a conversation about that. So let me be very clear. Mo'Nique is absolutely right. That is bogus, especially given the fact, and this is public knowledge, so I'm not like airing her dirty laundry or nothing, especially given the fact that you brought on her brother, who, you know, inappropriately touched her when she was younger. You put all of them on TV like that, that's not to talk about their family drama, and Mo'Nique wasn't there. That's a bad move on Oprah's part. That's not okay. Now, let me also be clear. We also are not hearing anything from Oprah, you know, and I think people need to recognize that just because we don't hear the other side doesn't mean that the other side doesn't exist. There could be another side to all of this stuff, but we're just not going to hear it because some people like Oprah, like Tyler, they're just not going to get into that kind of stuff. They're not going to get into the back and forth. They probably got other things to do. So the only thing I would say to this is always keep that little grain of salt that, yes, it is absolutely true. Mo'Nique will tell her truth. She will tell her truth. But because someone tells their truth, it does not mean they are telling the truth. Please understand the difference. You can tell your version of the truth because that is what you know, that is what you've seen. But as outsiders, we don't know if there are other sides, if there were other facts. We don't know. So there could just be more to the stories. Now, right now, because this is all we know, I believe Mo'Nique. I believe Mo'Nique that what she said, especially with Oprah and all that, I believe that was definitely bogus. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take her for a word until Oprah says something else or some evidence comes out or something. But I'm gonna take her for her word at this point. She said here, "You betrayed me, sister. Family is sacred, and we don't cross the line with family." Agreed. Agreed. Now, she also accused Oprah of making an example of her and doing the same thing to Taraji P. Henson during the promotion of Color Purple. This is where I have to disagree with Mo'Nique. Now, she did say this according to her observations that when she saw Oprah and Taraji interacting during the Color Purple, she looked at that situation and felt as though Oprah was doing them bogus. However, and again, this is why I say somebody can have their truth, but it doesn't mean they have the truth. Both Taraji and Oprah have spoken about this and said, no, this was not an Oprah thing. It was a Warner Brothers thing. And we just got done talking about how messed up Warner Brothers has been over the years. So this is one of the reasons why I can't just automatically assume and listen to everything Mo'Nique says as being 100% true, because we have evidence of the contrary. Oprah did not run The Color Purple. She was a producer on there. She even said when Taraji had issues, Taraji called Oprah and Oprah worked it out with the studio to fix the issue. That's the job of the producer. People get it really twisted in terms of how these industry things work. And apparently it seems like Mo'Nique was not aware of Oprah's actual role. And this is why I keep saying, like, when we talk about these gatekeepers and stuff, I don't think people really understand how these gatekeepers actually work. Don't be mixed up by just the name and the title, because people play different roles in this industry and it's not always as black and white. There's always some wiggle room. So I do disagree with her with Oprah versus Taraji's characterization there. I disagree. All right, now we got Tyler Perry. Woo! All right, Tyler Perry says here the comedian suggested that Tyler Perry spread rumors about her being difficult to work with in an attempt to blackball her in the film and TV industry. She said if it wasn't for her phone call in which he admitted to this, and she also recorded it, it would be her word versus his. All right. Now let's give you guys a little background into what they're talking about. During Precious, Tyler Perry was like, hey, look, Mo, you should go do some foreign press, right? Go do that advertising, promote that movie. You will make, maybe you're not going to make that money now, but if you go press this movie, you're going to win awards and you're going to get more movies and bigger contracts later. He's not wrong in that case, right? Now, on the flip side, Mo'Nique was like, wait a minute, player. Hold on. You want me to leave my family to go travel the world, promote this movie, and I'll do it, but y'all going to have to pay me. Pay up. And Tyler was like, I don't want to pay you for that. Why we pay? Like, listen, it's an investment for you. Why we got to pay you for that? Right? He wasn't going. So here's the thing. There is no right or wrong in this situation. Tyler is talking about basically an industry thing where this is an investment in your potential future. If you go out and market this movie, it only benefits you. And Mo'Nique was completely in the right to sit here and be like, I don't want to do that. Not if y'all not going to pay me. So yeah, cool. They parted ways, mutually agreed, didn't happen. But here is the problem. After that interaction, Tyler did go around and, talking with other people like Lee Butler and, or Lee Daniels, was like, hey, when asked about, because Lee Daniels, who did Empire, he wanted to, and he did Precious, he wanted to cast Mo'Nique as Cookie, which Taraji P ended up playing that role. But Lee talking to Tyler was like, listen, my interaction with Mo, she's difficult. Now, let me be very clear, and this is where I agree with Mo. The label of being difficult for Black women is damaging, especially in that industry. When you get that label, it really does mess up future possibilities of other people wanting to work with you. Because if you're difficult, who knows what that could mean, right? It could mean something as simple as, oh, well, she only wanted the green M&Ms every Friday on the third week of the month. Or it could be, she actually just wanted water on the set when it was hot, right? So it could be a very broad thing as to what difficult means. But unfortunately, when it comes to Black women, again, even outside the entertainment industry, it's not a good stigma. It's not a good label to have. So Tyler was absolutely messy for that. That was not cool because that did mess up her money. And Mo'Nique did, especially if he talked to more people, that absolutely eats into her earning potential. So I totally understand her being upset and holding a grudge against him for that. Now, again, I listened to the whole interview. I listened to it, or to the whole recording, the audio recording. Here's the thing. And I'm going to ask y'all this question too. I'm going to ask y'all this. Tyler admitted to telling others that she was difficult, right? And he offered her money, just be like, look, let me make it up to you. Let me try and get some money from Precious that y'all owe, whatever. They wasn't going. And I encourage y'all, go listen to the audio. Go listen to it. Listen to Tyler that whole time. One thing that I pulled away from that was Tyler did believe that she was difficult to work with. That's his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. But this is the question I want y'all to help me out with. If a friend of yours is going to work with somebody that you know and you used to work with, and that friend calls you up and says, hey, what was your experience like working with this person? I just need to know before I work with them. What do you tell them? Do you tell them, and let's just say you had a difficult experience with them, do you not tell them? Do you not tell your friend that it was difficult? Or do you tell them what you believe, that it was difficult? What do you do? Because I agree that if Tyler was going out of his way to go spread this rumor about her, that's bad. But my question is, what if people came to him? Because if people came to him, was he supposed to lie? Was he supposed to be quiet? Was he supposed to just let them go deal with it on their own? So again, this is information I don't have. I don't think we have this information. I don't think we know whether Tyler was like, all right, let me go through the phone. All right, hey, yo. Lee Daniel, hey, yup, she difficult. All right, thanks. Cool, bye. All right, hey, Steven Spielberg, yup, she difficult. We don't know if that's what he did. If he did, definitely bogus for that. But if he was asked, and that's what he believed, I mean, yes, it's definitely a consequence to it, but it's like, what else was he supposed to do? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to judge that. I'm not going to judge it. I'll let y'all decide that. Because again, we don't have enough information to make that judgment call. But she goes on to say here later in the interview, she suggested the rumor was so damaging that she faced blacklisting from the industry that she wouldn't face if she was a white woman. If it was a white woman, my name would be Melissa McCarthy. She told Sharpe, same track record, 5-year sitcom syndication, same track record. The opportunities are not the same. She claimed the rumor lost her the role, among others, in Empire. Now, this is where I have issues with Mo'Nique. Now, keep in mind, I fully support her in this idea that she was blackballed. I support that. The problem that I have is when she takes her individual situation and piggybacks and pimps real life legitimate situations. So when you sit here and compare yourself to Melissa McCarthy, now again, on the surface, that sounds real. That sounds like, oh yeah, white women do. Again, that's a real thing. White women in the industry get more opportunities than black women. They get more pay raises than black women. That's a real thing. But here's my question. You're comparing resumes and saying your resume is the same as Melissa McCarthy and all that. But does Melissa McCarthy have the same relational track record that you have? Does Melissa McCarthy have the same networking issues that you have? Because you can't go comparing yourself to other people if they're not doing the same drama, whether you agree with the drama or not. You can't compare with them if their drama is not your drama, or maybe they just drama free, because that is the critical thing. That's the very big difference. I haven't heard nobody talk about Melissa McCarthy is difficult. And I'm just saying, in terms of individual stories, yes, again, there is the real issue of white women being treated better than black women in the industry. We get that. But that does not mean it automatically applies to Mo'Nique's situation. That's the part we need to learn how to separate. Stop conflating the two just because she says it. We don't know all of that information. So far, I ain't never seen Melissa McCarthy get dragged in the headlines because she got beef with this person, beef with that person, beef with this person. I haven't seen that. Unfortunately, I've seen that with Mo, even if it's legitimate beef. But those little type of things matter. That matters. It makes a difference. What else she go through? She talked about Tiffany Haddish. I didn't really want to go into that because she just kind of dogged her right there. But I don't think her and Tiffany Haddish are cool like that anyway. Kevin Hart. She brings up Kevin Hart, and this was an interesting one, okay? Kevin Hart, if y'all recall, Kevin was also brought up by Cat Williams. And Cat basically was like, Kevin is a plant, right? Now, here's the thing. I laughed during the whole Cat Williams thing. I laughed. I had a good time. It was funny. But, and maybe other people didn't do this, I also went to go see and did some research on what Kevin would say. I've heard Kevin say things. I've shared that with you guys, how he goes about his replies and his responses and stuff like that. I've heard what he said in previous interviews about Cat Williams. And what that does is it gives you a better sense of the person and their mentality. Here's what I mean. Cat Williams went on and talked about Kevin Hart for a good, I don't know, a couple of minutes or whatever. Dragged him. Talked about he ain't sell this out. He was an industry plant. He's doing all this, that, whatever. Okay, cool. That's Cat's opinion. He could say that. Right before that, Cat was also having an issue with Kevin Hart in the past, where Kevin Hart went to the Breakfast Club. Go look it up. It's the Breakfast Club interview with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. And Kevin Hart goes off on Cat Williams. And this is before Cat goes and does his whole, thing on Club Shay Shay. But what Kevin Hart basically said was like, nah, Cat, you hating on all these other people, especially myself, but I'm taking advantage of opportunities. So, in other words, while Cat Williams might have been offered a role, but he didn't show up on time, or I don't know, maybe he passed up on something, Kevin Hart jumped on it and took advantage. Here's a little thing I'll tell y'all, and this is just in the industry, right? I'm not some movie star, actor, nothing, but I do talk to people that, be in these spaces. It's not always a question of how talented you are, because I think we've all recognized that sometimes lesser talented people get more opportunities than others. A lot of times, the things that make things work in Hollywood are relationships. And if it's not relationships, or call it networking, it's also trust. And what do I mean by that? I'm not going to name no names or drop anything, but I've had producers sit here and tell me, yes, we trust this talent more because they're on time, they're reliable, and they always deliver on whatever projects we have them work on. Well, if you have somebody that's trustworthy, reliable, and they give you back, a good return, are you going to stick with them and give them more opportunities? Or are you going to take the risk with somebody who might be more talented, but not as reliable, not as trustworthy, and they don't always deliver? So, in the case of Kevin Hart and Cat Williams, I'm looking at this like, okay, I see what Cat is saying, and I also see what Kevin's saying. Both of them are telling their truth for sure, but I'm not going to sit here and say one's lying and one isn't. They just go about things differently. But what I did notice with Kevin, and the reason why this ties into Mo'Nique is because I think it will speak volumes in a second. When Kat came at Kevin Hart, if you go back to Kevin Hart's first response on Twitter, what did he say? He said something like, "Oh man, people gonna be crazy, whatever. Oh, by the way, hey, I got a new thing coming out. Make sure y'all check this out. Blah 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 blah." Why is that? Because Kevin is always about his business. Every time Kevin gets into some sort of drama, he usually will pull back. Even when he got into the whole affair situation and all that stuff, he pulls back because he knows it affects his business. And y'all know that guy is a hard worker. Like, he's always doing something. Now, keep that in mind, because this kind of goes into what Mo'Nique was getting into with Kevin Hart. She said here, Kevin reached out to her to help mend the situation with her and, Tyler Perry. He said while he said he wasn't really a friend of Oprah's, he did know Tyler Perry and wanted to reach out to him on Mo'Nique's behalf. Cool. Kevin said this to her, according to Mo'Nique. Mo, I talked to Tyler. He said he don't want to revisit it. He said, but I tell you what, let's move past that. Mo, let's just move past that and let's do great things together. That's what Mo said Kevin told her. And Mo'Nique goes on to say, when my family was up against the wall, Kevin Hart wrote us a check. Here you go. And Mo'Nique went ahead and, when she got back on her feet financially, whatever, she went ahead and paid him back the money. But basically, Kevin was there for her, right? Kevin said, let's work together. Kevin said, here's some money when she needed it or whatever. Listen, I haven't, whatever criticisms people have, like, I also hear very good stories about Kevin Hart, and Mo'Nique is giving that until this. Now, it goes on to say he offered to work with her on any project, whether it be an executive producer role or something else. But weeks later, they were told by his manager that Kevin didn't want anything to do with her. Now, when Mo'Nique confronted Kevin about it, he said that it was all a miscommunication and he will follow up with her soon. That was 2 years ago, according to Mo. I've never talked back with Kevin Hart again. So, in other words, Mo'Nique is basically claiming that he ghosted her, and, it's kind of giving the implication that Kevin Hart was real bogus. And my issue is this. I feel like that should have been a moment of self-reflection, because you're talking about a person who reached out to you when they saw that you were struggling, when they saw that you were being blackballed and that you needed help. He reached out to you. He also gave you money. But then all of a sudden, he pulled back, or at least his manager was acting like a buffer. My question is, do you think it could have been something going on with you guys that could have impacted Kevin's money? Because once again, Kevin does not like to get into mess. It disrupts his money. He's all about his business. So all I'm saying is, and I'm glad that she paid him back. I'm glad that they had, that whole interaction. But I'm just saying, like, I need to wait on hearing from Kevin, and I don't think he's going to respond because he doesn't really like to get into, back and forth drama like that. But I don't really like the implication that there was something negative going on Kevin's part, because for all we know, maybe at that time, because we don't have dates of when this happened, maybe this was the time when Mo'Nique was in the headlines for all negative reasons, or negative headlines were going on about her. Why would he want to be associated with that? I don't know. Or maybe Kevin learned something, but I think that was a little messed up, to kind of just leave it there without at least thinking maybe there was something else. Maybe there was something else as to why Kevin has not talked to you in 2 years. Maybe. But you do have other comedians coming to his defense. Michael Blackson says that Mo'Nique was wrong for mentioning Kevin Hart on Club Shay Shay. Here's what he had to say real quick. He said, at some point, Kev's manager got involved, but a manager's job is to keep his clients out of the BS. And that's what Dave Becky did. She should have thanked him for trying. Shay Shay mentioned the word gatekeeper, and then she mentioned Kevin. And I don't think in this situation, Kevin was a gatekeeper, because he tried to open the gate, but the gate was too tall. Ghost or not, that man tried. You can help someone a million times, but that one time you can't help them is what they will remember. I mean, sure, I guess, you know. I mean, I still think that they need to have a conversation, you know. Um, I hope they have a conversation at the very least. And I would hope that Kevin would at the very least be honest with her and be like, hey, you know what? I wanted to help, but maybe at that time things were too hot. Maybe headlines were not good. Maybe it was bad, whatever. But I do think y'all should at least have a conversation. At least. But I don't know. To me, I'll wait for more information. Then, oh my gosh, you got the DL Hughley situation. Whoo-wee. Oof. Okay. Now this one goes back the longest. And there's a lot with DL Hughley. I don't know if we even have time to go over all of it, but one thing that kind of happened was, because you have two main situations with DL. The first one was the radio show. He brought her on to the radio show, his radio show. He wasn't there. And then apparently his co-host tried to play that game of Would You Rather, and they brought up a very inappropriate Would You Rather question about her husband and stuff like that. She didn't appreciate it. So she called up DL, and one thing came to another, and DL was like, all right, fine, whatever. We won't air that segment out of respect for her, according to him. And even when that was happening, she was still upset at him in general. Whatever. So DL did not have a problem with it, but for him, according to him, even if he did not have an issue with the questions, he still did not air that episode out of respect for her. That's honestly and literally the least you can do. The least you can do is respect someone's feelings and just not air it. And they didn't. Now, more happens where you also have that whole situation of the comedy headlining saga. And in that saga, you had Mo'Nique was supposed to headline a show. Actually, let me go ahead and it's right here. They later, Mo'Nique and DL, DL basically put her on for this show, and while they're performing this show together, she was the headliner, but according to her, he showed up late in an apparent effort to strong arm his way into headlining the slot. She called him out during the set, labeling him a coward. Now, this is a very slanted way of describing the events because, again, you can go. I listened to both of their back and forths when this was happening. My opinion in terms of how this really happened as an outsider listening to both sides, it sounded like Mo'Nique was supposed to headline, and then the promoter was like, ooh, but we got DL, gave DL the actual headline in his contract or whatever, and he ended up headlining. But she took it as DL screwed her over. Now, in my opinion, I'm like, you need to be talking to that promoter because clearly the promoter played you in that situation. But this is also the time, that whole coward thing, that was more so, if I'm not mistaken, that was also tied to her using DL's daughter's unfortunate sexual trauma, because she was assaulted, to attack DL. And it got so bad, and it was kind of out of pocket. It's like, look, if you're going to talk about DL, talk about DL. You don't have to bring his wife in here. You don't have to bring his daughter into the conversation, like, at all. If you're going to have beat, just talk about this guy. And it got to the point where his daughter had to get involved. She left this very, big message on her, stuff like, yo, leave our family out of this. And I think people forget about that. And this is one of the reasons why Mo'Nique did not always get all this love that she's now getting from Club Shay Shay, because again, a lot of people did not follow all of this stuff. At that time, what was it, 2-3 years ago, people were not rocking with Mo'Nique because she was doing a lot of low blows. She was not always, I love us for real. You can't sit here and talk about you love us for real, but then you talking about and using another Black sister's sexual assault trauma to attack her father. That's not okay. That's not okay. The double talk does not work. So, anyway, if you followed, and again, I encourage y'all, don't just go off of Club Shay Shay. Go listen to both sides. Go listen to Mo'Nique's, Instagram. Go listen to DL Hughley. Get as much information before you jump on anybody's bandwagon. But DL basically calls her a liar. He basically, called her out on like a lot of different things, and they have their beef. What's interesting to me about this is this, and I'm talking to the one-sided bandwagon fans at this point. On one end of the spectrum, you had Mo'Nique legitimately being blackballed because she was labeled as being difficult. And then after the fact, you had someone like DL who, according to him, he said, against my own judgment, because my team, my staff, my family, all these people said, don't work with Mo'Nique. This is according to him. They all told him, don't work with Mo'Nique. And he said, nah, forget that. I want to help my sister out. And when he worked with her, he found that obviously to be difficult. And he later on said, I completely regret ever trying to help her and giving her a chance. So what does this say? At least to an outsider like myself. You got a woman here that has legitimate reason and cases of being victimized. For real. Then you got another side where I would say she's probably not helping her own case. It's not a good sign if you're the victim and then you get involved with people that are trying to help you, and then those bridges are burned too. Because at that point, maybe it's not everybody else. Maybe there has to be a little shared responsibility. And I'm not even saying this as DL is some perfect person. I'm not even saying that. I don't know this brother. I got no dog in this fight. I'm just saying, maybe it's not always as black and white, because there's a whole lot of conflicting stories going on. What else you talk about? She also talked about Skip Bayless. Screw Skip Bayless. When he dragged Shannon Sharpe like that, man, screw him. That's why I like the fact that his show is not doing very well. Take that. Now, I want to address why maybe I'll get canceled. I don't know. I was just talking to a homie of mine, and she was like, you know, I don't agree with your post. I don't agree with what you said. That's all right. I got nothing but love for it too. And I was catching some heat. I was catching a little heat for what I said. So let me say what I said, and I'm going to clear it up for the folks just in case. I said here, the saddest thing about Mo'Nique is that she's now known for her ranting and complaints, regardless of whether you agree, and less for her comedy. I think that speaks volumes. Now, some people receive that. Some people thought, for whatever reason, I was saying that people just completely forgot about the fact that she used to be a comedy legend. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said is, right now, if you are an alien, you coming into the world, and you're like, who's Mo'Nique? You only gonna see drama. Mo'Nique dragged this person. Mo'Nique dragged that. Calls out. That's what I was talking about. And that's what I'm saying is problematic, because I think that Mo'Nique should be recognized for her comedy and for her talent more than she should any of the drama. Okay? Because people are like, what do you do? How old are you? You don't know what she's been doing? Yes, I know. Somebody was like, man, she was on the Parkers 20 years ago. This is the entertainment industry has always been a space of what have you done for me lately? What have you done lately? Don't nobody care about what you did 20 years ago. They really don't. They don't, sorry to say, they barely care for what you did 5 years ago. So my point has always been, because, and let me make this very clear, because I've heard some very, how can I say this? Energetic, some of the energetic sisters who probably don't follow me, and that's fine. Trying to accuse a brother of hating on black women. Pause, ma'am. Hold up, wait a second. My thing is not about hating on black women. And I'm sorry, but you're doing the same thing that Mo'Nique is also guilty of, which is conflating a legitimate issue with a personal individual criticism. Just because I criticize Mo'Nique does not mean I'm downgrading or degrading all Black women and their real struggles. Please stop conflating the two. When I have praises, I give them to her. When I have criticisms, I give them to her because I'm talking about her. When I talk about the grander situation when it comes to Black women, I will talk about that. But if I'm talking about this woman and her specific situation, why are y'all bringing in the whole Black race and gender? What are y'all talking about? How did we get there? Is Mo'Nique literally every woman? No, she's not, because she doesn't have every woman's situation. Let me give you an example. A lot of people are saying like, oh, well, Mo'Nique is out here and she's, y'all just don't like it because she's calling people out and she's, supporting Black women. She's advocating for Black women. I don't have a problem with that. Call them out. I don't know Tyler Perry or Oprah. Drag them. I don't care. They don't do nothing for me. They don't cut me no checks. Here's the challenge I give to y'all. Nia Long, Jada Pinkett Smith, Viola Davis, Taraji P. Henson, Regina King, Tracy Ellis Ross, Gabrielle Union, Octavia Spencer, Keke Palmer, Mo'Nique. What do they all have in common? Each and every one of them have spoken out in the industry about Black women and their struggles and the inequalities that they have. Who was dragging them? Who was dragging any of those women not even dragging? Who was giving pushback against them? Who was not supporting them? When Viola Davis, Oscar award-winning Viola Davis sat here and talked about how the pay inequality was a problem, who was disagreeing with her? Who was giving her pushback? Nobody. We support these Black women. We support their causes. We support and believe and listen to everything that they're talking about. Now, out of that whole list I gave, how many of them got the same drama that's attached to Mo'Nique? Again, I don't care if you agree with the drama or not. Drama is drama. So this is not a Black woman thing like she's trying to pivot to. It's a Mo'Nique thing. And I think that we should hold her accountable to those things and also uplift her at the same time. And that's why I want to make sure I'm not being hypocritical at this, because like I said, and I've said this before, I support all of these folks. First of all, I support everybody and anything Black. First of all, okay? So I support Mo'Nique and I want the best for Mo'Nique, okay? I don't want her to be known more for drama than her talent. I think she can act. I think she could be funny if she would do more comedy tours and stuff. And I would like to see her prosper. Okay. So one thing that I had talked about with Cat Williams was my man set 2024 on fire in January. And one brilliant thing that he did, or at least that was attached to him, was my man sat here and announced that he was going on tour. Brilliant. Not only was he going on tour, but this man is going to stream a new comedy special live on Netflix May 4th. You mean to tell me that y'all not going to tune into that? I know I am. That is brilliant. Capitalize on this time right now while you're hot, because you know good and well we got short attention spans. And this is what I was also saying and hoping for with Mo'Nique. And I am so happy for her, because she too is now going to go on tour with Cat Williams on their comedy tour. And this is what I've been wanting. This is what I've been rooting for. I literally, please don't go look up the video, but you can for receipts. 6 years ago, go look up my video on my channel. I literally gave solutions for Mo'Nique, And one thing that I told it in the video 6 years ago now, I was like, please, yes, air out your grievances, have your issues, totally with you on that. But use that to your advantage rather than being handcuffed and shackled to whatever Tyler Perry or Oprah can give you or not. Use that momentum. And this has to be one of the best ways to do that. Yes, I do have the videos. Don't go look it up because I look real bogus in the video. It's 6 years old. It's 6. I told y'all this thing has been going on for a long time. It's 6 years old, but yet, matter of fact, you know what? Did I? Gosh, because y'all don't believe people without receipts. I know. Y'all don't want to believe a brother. I'm telling y'all, I did this thing, and I'm gonna put it in there. I'll put it in there so y'all can go listen for yourself. For yourself. Your boy was not playing back in the day. Was looking a little rough, so please forgive a brother. Prove it. I got you. All right, boom. There we go. Woo! Who was that? All in the face and everything. Listen, okay. I know what I'm talking about. Listen, 6 solutions for Mo'Nique. This was 6. Can we zoom in on that time frame? 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Ain't nobody even watching. 619 views. Ain't nobody checking for me back then. But yes, this is what I was saying because I want her to succeed. I want her to win. Absolutely. I don't want her to only be known as the person that's ranting or complaining or, issuing boundaries or advocate, whatever. If you're a legend, show that. If you're massively talented, let's remind the folks. The last time she had a comedy special, she used that time to just drag even more people. So now, is that what we're supposed to expect? If she goes on comedy tours now, are we supposed to only expect her to just drag more people? Or can we remember, I don't know, jokes? Can we get that? So again, I want her to succeed. I'm hoping for the best. And I'm very happy and hopeful that she hopefully can move on, be successful, and have some peace. I want her to have some peace. I like the fact that Lee Daniels apologized. They made up. Breakfast Club apologized. I don't think they should have, but okay, whatever. But either way, I want her to have peace, but I want her to be successful. And hopefully she'll get that. Anyway, guys, y'all let me know. What do you think about this whole Mo'Nique situation? Where do you land on this? What do you think about it? There's a lot. There is a lot. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments down below. Buzz, thank you so much, brother. Club Shay Shay is on fire with Mo'Nique and Cat from January. I believe them both. Okay. All right, cool. I believe some things she says. I just don't believe everything because I've heard the evidence. I've seen other people say they piece, and I think that there's always more to the story. But I hear you. What's up, E-Man? Are you fam? Happy early Mardi Gras next week. Mo'Nique got the streets talking. She does. And let's hope that the talk continues to stay positive. I want her to keep it positive in terms of, hey, y'all, I got this new thing coming out. Hey, y'all, look at it. I want people to talk about her jokes. I want people to talk about how great her acting is. I want people to, I want her to do great things so that she can talk about that and not negative stuff. Let's see. Sir Shy, Carano gonna win this case. Okay. Listen, the best Gina Carano can hope for is a settlement. That's the best she can hope for. Again, I don't have all the evidence, but you would have to show that a private company has the obligation to rehire you after you fulfilled your contract. What is she going to win? How is she going to win? When you fulfill a contract, why does anyone have to rehire you? Make it make sense. Forget bias, because I think a lot of people that just think she's going to win, I believe a lot of them are just biased and sympathetic to her views. But I'm just saying, from a legal, black and white, on paper perspective, how you going to force a company to hire you after you completed the job to hire you back? How does that make sense? Thank you. Appreciate you. Dwight, what you got? I know E-Man paid for Janet and Beyonce. Is he paying for that Mo'Nique show? Ah. 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 Listen, why you got to put me on the spot? I have not been a fan of her comedy, so I would not buy it, if I'm just being honest. But that doesn't mean I'm not rooting for her. I hope she sells out Madison Square Garden. I hope she sells out arenas. I hope she does great. I don't mean I gotta join in on that. I'm just, I'm not a fan of her style of comedy. It's a little too much. It's not my style. So, sorry. Why you gotta put me on the spot? Don't do that, man. Leave me alone. Frigga, what you got? I focus solely on their acting ability. That said, Hollywood always deals differently with black actors. This is facts. Absolutely. Black actors do get lowballed. They don't get the same opportunities. The pay disparity is real, 100%. But everybody don't fit in that character, in that same mold. Sometimes you got isolated individual incidents and individuals that are the exceptions, So, yeah. Didier, what you got? I think the second DL situation coincides with when Kevin Hart dropped his offer. Wow, maybe. Okay. That so when she was so you talking about the club situation where the headline and all that stuff, because that was only a year or two ago. That could have been, yeah, maybe that is what Kevin was like. Ooh, DL saying he don't want to mess with you after he helped you. Maybe I'm gonna step back. Maybe that is. I don't know, but this is one of those things that hopefully we will have to see Kevin respond to one day. We'll see. I don't know. All right, what else we got? J. Dot, thank you so much. In Club Shay Shay interview, Mo'Nique asked DL not to air the segment. He resisted at first, and she had to get her attorney to send a cease and desist letter. So the part when you said he respected her wishes is incorrect. If I'm not mistaken, she just apologized because I don't think that cease and desist thing happened. I could be wrong. But she did. Her and Daddy just released a video, I want to say earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday. Days are running together. Where they were like, no, that didn't happen, or that wasn't the case. Either way, the thing never aired. How it didn't air, why it didn't air, it really doesn't matter. It did not air. And I think that's all that really matters. So again, if you don't want to take my word for it, that's fine. Totally fine. I've already encouraged y'all, go listen to them. They both have social media and they both are posting things. Go do that. Yeah, I know the whole daddy thing is that's another that's not my business. Leave me alone. It's not my business. But thank you so much. Minister Mo'Nique and Mackie is the new E-Man power. Why they gotta be my power couple? Why does it have to be my power couple? And the crazy thing is, she's open to open relationships too. So you know what? I'm sorry. We got to wrap this up. All right, guys. That just no. We're good. We're done, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to hang out with me today. Really appreciate it. I think we will see each other same time, same place next week. Feel free to leave your comments. I forgot to thank y'all. Thank you guys for hitting that thank you button at the on the replays. Really appreciate it. Y'all still sending in the support, the love means the world. Appreciate y'all keeping the lights on and supporting the channel the way that you do. Always means a lot. You guys know the routine. Make sure you have a wonderful, safe weekend. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. Until next time, guys. Peace.